Whatever you got inside your chest,
yes,
put it out on this field, man. Play with heart. Play with dignity. Let's go, man. We got some games left to play. We got to show this league what we're about. Let's go. Heart, man. Heart on three. 1, 2, 3. Heart.
All you got.
Brent Selleck leading the Eagles in midfield, and on the sideline, Andy Reid making changes as he's going along. Started off oh so well for the Eagles this year, winning 3 of the first 4, although they did turn the ball over a lot, and 0-8 since their longest losing streak in 42 seasons.
Dick for Greg Schiano and the Buccaneers, a little bit of a different story. They start off the season slow. They're not running the football effectively. Josh Freeman doesn't look like a franchise quarterback. 5-3 since, running the football extremely well, and Josh Freeman's on fire.
Brandon Boykin will return the opening kickoff, hopefully, and Michael Kanan will kick off. The Eagles won the toss, did not defer. They receive and will start out at the 20-yard line. So making his 4th start of the season is the rookie Nick Foles, a 3rd-round draft choice out of the University of Arizona, who Andy Reid praised when we had them in the opening game against the Browns. Still looking for his first victory of the year.
And the thing about Nick Foles that I really like, and Andy Reid talked about it, he gets better each and every week. This game doesn't look too big for him. He's showing a lot of promise for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And Reid said we're young and we need the balance, so you may see a lot more running than we've seen over the years by Andy Reid's offense. First play of the game, and they flip it off to the tight end Brent Selleck for a short gain of 1. And the Philadelphia offense, and it's apparent, John, that the younger players are starting to make an impact as Selleck takes some time getting off.
They are, and you look right off the bat, Bryce Brown, this kid is a game-breaking type player. He's had problems with ball security. You see no Deshaun Jackson at wide receiver, and this offensive line is much improved. They're playing as a unit very well the last couple of weeks.
And Damaris Johnson, undrafted rookie from Tulsa, in at wide receiver. There are 4 wideouts lining up for the Eagles on 2nd and 9. And when you spread it out, some rush, and the pass is caught by Johnson. So Johnson in the game on the first offensive play. 6-yard gain. Biggers making the tackle. Taking a look at the Buccaneers defensively, you can't get a bigger contrast, John, between defense against the run and the pass, can you?
No. How about best and worst? They sell out to stop the run. As a consequence, they give up a lot of pass yards. But Nick Foles, smart young kid, he says, number 20 back there, he's a pretty good player. I got to be alert of where he is at all times, speaking about Rondé Barber.
3rd and 3, Roy Miller out with the head injury. Gary Gibson starting at defensive tackle for the Bucs. 3rd down and 3. And with plenty of time, and time runs out, and it's Gerald McCoy who comes in for the sack. McCoy's 4th of the year. And that will force the Eagles to punt, a loss of 10.
This has been a problem for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Only 18 sacks on the season. It starts right here with Daquan Bowers. He's going to get a good rush off the edge. It forces Nick Foles to step upfield. And Gerald McCoy with his 4th sack of the season. They've struggled. They've affected quarterbacks. They have not finished well. That's a good start for the Buccaneers.
Matt McBriar will be kicking inside the 5, and Roscoe Parrish. And a great kick by McBriar sends Parrish back inside his 20. That was a 66-yard punt. A great kick that time, and Parrish is tackled right at the 35-yard line by Akeem Jordan. So Tampa Bay going on attack, and it's been a pretty good one. And despite the 2 losses in the last 8 games, pretty good ratio there. 18 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions for Josh Freeman.
And you know what's incredible about those 4 interceptions? This is an offense that throws the ball downfield, so you take a lot of inherent risk. But Josh Freeman's been able to do that, at the same time protect the football extremely well.
Bucs on their 35. And they miss the handoff, and Nearly disaster for Tampa Bay, but Doug Martin grabs it. Martin went right past Freeman on the handoff. They'll lose 4 and be happy to lose only 4.
Simple draw play, and I think the rookie Martin a little anxious. He didn't take the delay step necessary on the draw. Josh Freeman can't get the ball around quickly enough. Not a way to start the football for the Buccaneers, and lucky to get that football back.
Not the way you want to run the first play on offense. 2nd down and 14. Clean handoff to Martin. And Martin is tackled by Jamar Chaney, who's starting at strong side backer. The rest of the Tampa Bay offense. And you got to remember, it's still 4th highest scoring team in the league, averaging 28 points a game.
And we know about the outstanding rookie. We'll see him throughout the game, Doug Martin. But Vincent Jackson really has opened this offense up. They've lost 2 all-pro guards in Davin Joseph and Carl Nix, but this offensive line has struggled the last couple of weeks. They need to play better today.
3rd down and 13. Back at the 32. Freeman has to dump it off to DJ Ware, and he's going to lose some yardage. So good coverage by both teams in the secondary on the first possessions. And Michael Kendricks, who switches to weak side linebacker, makes the tackle, and a loss of 3, and Tampa Bay will kick.
Josh Freeman looking downfield. They go with a cover 2 look. 2 safeties over the top, corners underneath. Good coverage downfield, and that causes Freeman, he has nowhere to go with the football. He actually throws a lateral back to Doug Martin. An excellent start for the Philadelphia defense.
Michael Kanan kicking from inside the 15, and Damaris Johnson is back deep. Fair catch call at the 30. So each team has had the ball once. We haven't had a first down. Good coverage in the secondary. And the Eagles will go back on offense when we come back. Unspectacular opening drives for both teams. The Eagles lost 3 yards in their first foray, and the Bucs dropped 10. And now a first down at the 31 for the Eagles. 4 wide receivers, including Bryce Brown, the running back, who gets his first carry of the game, trying to go wide and will lose, thanks to Michael Bennett. Big year for Bennett, and it was Daquan Bowers who got in first on the penetration, and a loss of 4.
This is what this Tampa Bay defense does. They penetrate, they play in your backfield, they lead the league in negative yardage runs. Michael Bennett's been right at the forefront of that with 12, now 13 tackle for losses on the season.
Clay Harbor is in a tight end for Philadelphia. Brent Selleck, slow to get up after that first play, is out right now. 2nd down and 14. Brown again trying to go outside, and again the Bucs are there, and it's Rondé Barber coming up from his safety position. No gain on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and long for the Eagles. And the players shaken up on the field. Tampa Bay's Anthony Gator, who was just moved up to the roster this week, played 8 games last year. So Gator, who made the roster, shaken up, and a timeout. We'll be back. Anthony Gator on the sidelines, walking off on his own power. 3rd down and 14. Foles, and this pass incomplete, intended for Jeremy Maclin. So the Eagles are 3 and out on their first 2 possessions of the game.
Foles tries to sneak a backside slant in there, and Rondé Barber, as usual, Johnny on the spot, underneath coverage in the dime package for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So McBriar, who unleashed a beauty 66-yard punt the first time around. This one good hang time, shorter. Parrish will run it from the 29 and will go out of bounds. So the Buccaneers will go on offense for the 2nd time, scoreless early on. Well, it's a beautiful day, and a beautiful day to jet ski, although I wouldn't recommend this if you haven't practiced it maybe 100 times.
Dick, I didn't know they had the camera on us yesterday.
Well, that's why I held on. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bucs at the 35. They lost 10 yards in their first possession before they punted after 3 plays. Play action. Freeman quickly pass, and it's nearly intercepted by Dominique Rogers-Cromartie. Boy, he really cut in front of the intended receiver, Vincent Jackson.
And a really nice play by Rogers-Cromartie. He comes up, going to press Vincent Jackson, and then cut underneath him. Turns around, gets his head around. Well thrown ball by Freeman. Just a really good play by Cromartie.
2nd down and 10. Bucs have won 5 of their last 8. And in a 6-6 record at home, game you want to win badly. Freeman is going deep as he does, and this pass is overthrown Vincent Jackson. Jackson has made some big plays since coming over from the Chargers this year. And that'll bring up 3rd and long. And Tommy Brazier, 72 years old, replaces Jim Washburn as defensive line coach, the 2nd defensive coaching change made by Andy Reid this year.
And that's just a movement towards, as you see, Rogers-Cromartie, Asamoah, and Colt Anderson filling in for Kurt Coleman. Quarterbacks have been torching this secondary. They have been tearing them up. 16 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the last 6 games. That's unheard of. These guys need to play better. It looks like they came to play today.
Eagles have won the turnover battle only 1 time. That was against the Giants early. And on 3rd down, the pass is caught by Jackson in stride. And a 1st down into Eagles territory at the 46. And it was Asamoah on the coverage. And the Bucs get 19 on that play.
Well, this is high-priced free agent on high-priced free agent. You're going to see Vincent Jackson working on Nnamdi Asamoah. And that's a great throw by Josh Freeman. A little separation by Vincent Jackson. Hits him in stride. Excellent throw by Josh Freeman.
Jackson over 1,000 yards on the year, has caught 7 touchdown passes, and now a 1st down on the Philadelphia 46. Martin straight ahead. What a rookie year he's had as he picks up 3 yards.
And Dick, Vincent Jackson, this guy, they went out, high-priced free agent. We see he's gone over 1,000 yards in his first season with the Buccaneers. He's made this team better. He's made Josh Freeman better. He's made Mike Williams better. He draws the #1 corner. Mike Williams draws the 2 now. He's opened up the run game. A tremendous acquisition for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You need more than 1 wide receiver to make it work, and Bucs probably would even think of adding another one. You never know. Never have enough as Martin gets the carry, breaks a tackle, and gets inside the 40, where D'Amico Ryans joining the Eagles after a distinguished career with the Texans. 3-yard pickup there. 8.5 minutes to go in the first. And it'll be 3rd down and short.
The Bucs operating from a little bit of a sugar huddle, choosing not to go back and huddle. Calling the plays at the line of scrimmage. One of the things they'll see with Vincent Jackson, they move him all over the field. He's outside right now. We saw him earlier at the #3 position. They got a bunch up top opposite of Vincent Jackson.
3rd and 3. Freeman going to the outside and overthrows Mike Williams. And that'll bring up 4th down. So he tried to go short to Williams. And punting situation coming on after the Buccaneers do get into Eagle territory.
And I think the only criticism of Josh Freeman, when you look at his statistics, he's a 55% passer. Now, a lot of that is dictated by the fact they throw downfield so much. He's never going to be a 65% passer in this offense, but he's got to get up to that 60% to become a big-time quarterback.
And John, this is where Michael Kanan earns his money by trying to punt and keep the ball in the field of play. And Damaris Johnson is there, and he'll succeed. Fair catch called inside the 15. You saw Johnson return a punt 98 yards against Dallas, the last score of last week's game. Eagles were 3 and out in their first 2 possessions of the game. They'll start this drive from their 14. Trying to break an 8-game losing streak. Clay Harbor is in at tight end. Foles gets a rush up the middle. and completes the pass to Riley Cooper, who may have a first down. So Harbor has been in since Brent Selleck was hurt on the first play. For more, Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, Dick, certainly not the way the Eagles and Brent Selleck wanted to start out this game. The Tampa Bay defense delivering a fierce blow. The Eagles training staff evaluated Brent Selleck and has now confirmed he does indeed have a concussion, which means we won't see him the rest of the game, Dick.
So add to the concussion list of Michael Vick, LaShawn McCoy, and Deshaun Jackson, all out with concussions. 1st and 10, however, on that last play to Cooper from the 24. And Foles' pass incomplete. The receiver Cooper fell down, and E.J. Biggers knocked it away.
You see the immediate adjustment for the Eagles, Dick, without Selleck, is they're going to 4 wide receivers. Levante David right here going to come on the cross dog. You'll see that a lot from the Buccaneers. The kid's an excellent football player. Reminds me of my old teammate Derek Brooks. That's high praise.
And you're not saying it because he's standing next to you up here. I know that. Booker McFarland right with you as well. Surprised you're not wearing the jersey, John, but I know you're working.
Good job to do.
The 2nd down and 10 from the 24. Here's Bryce Brown, and Bryce Brown goes nowhere. Gerald McCoy, who had a sack already in this game, stops Brown after a gain of 1. Bryce Brown, 347 yards and 2 starts.
There's Gerald McCoy right here. He's an excellent football player. My only problem with him, he doesn't make enough plays. To become a great player, he's got to finish. And you see that football with Bryce Brown. That ball is loose. The Buccaneers know it. They're going to go after it. He's had 3 fumbles in the last 2 games. He'll have more if he continues to carry it loose like that.
3rd down and 9. There's the pressure on Foles, and he doesn't get away. And it's Michael Bennett, but it was Aaron Morgan, the former Jaguar, who's the first to get in there to set it up. 2nd sack and another loss of 10.
Well, here's the 8th sack, but Dick, you said it right here. Aaron Morgan going to get a great jump. He's a fast speed rusher. That forces Foles up in the pocket. Michael Bennett, who shifts inside in their nickel package, there to finish Nick Foles.
So now McBriar will be punting from the 5, and a low kick, and Roscoe Parrish is going to let it bounce, and the Buccaneers will have good field position just about the 40-yard line with under 6 minutes to go. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense been their offense this year, defense so far in this game. No score here, and for the Buccaneers, their first 2 possessions, they had to punt it away. So it's been a defensive game, and the fans enjoying this beautiful day. Sellout crowd, and here to celebrate the Super Bowl champions of 10 years ago. 1st down at the 39, and the pass out to Doug Martin, and Martin, the running back, gets a few yards. Well, we mentioned Tommy Brazier, who retired from the Eagles in 05, back as the defensive line coach. For more, here's Jen Hale.
Yeah, Dick, I spoke with Coach Brazier before the game and asked him how he was feeling. He gave me 2 thumbs up and said, I am more excited about this than anything I've been in years. He's been hungry to get back to coaching, not just consulting for Coach Reed. And he says the biggest adjustment today is going to be for the tackles. That's where he has spent the most time working with them. This whole line, though, did have a conversation about if things go badly and the system doesn't gel, don't degrade to playground ball, Dick.
Well, and you want to stop the run, and that's something the Eagles have done, but a 7-yard pickup by Martin gives them a 1st down at midfield.
And we've heard so much about the wide 9, and I think that's one thing that you won't see as much under Tommy Brazier. These alignments where the ends are far outside the tight ends, you're going to see more head up on tight ends, trying to really corral the run, not as much attacking defense up the field. And there's an example of it. The ends are tighter than we're accustomed to seeing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Lorig, the fullback, is playing out to the right, and we'll have what looks to be a false start against Donald Penn. Ron Winter, the referee.
False start. Offense, number 70.
Penn, the
5-yard
left
penalty.
tackle.
Remains 1st down.
And here's that 6 technique we're talking about. We're used to seeing the ends out there. That would be the wide 9. This is one of the adjustments you'll see under Tommy Brazier. And Andy Reid said it was time. It was best for the team. Teams were scheming us in the run game. We weren't making adjustments. That was his thoughts about the move.
1st down and 15. And there's a high snap, but Doug Martin with a good run gets to the 48-yard line of the Eagles for our first game break of the day. Not the last. Kurt Menefee.
Oh, there'll be many more, Dick. After RG3 and Josh Morgan hooked up for a 7-0 Redskin lead, Baltimore answered. Joe Flacco to Anquan Bolden. 19 yards on the score, and they're even at 7, nearing the end of the first quarter. Dick and John.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. Here in Tampa, 2nd down and 9 for the Bucs on the 49 of the Eagles. Freeman, and the pass is knocked down, incomplete. So that was Jamar Chaney getting a chance as a starter. Knocked it down, intended for the tight end Luke Stocker.
See Jamar Chaney working on Stocker. Just good tight coverage. He's filling in for Akeem Jordan. They've shifted the rookie over to the weak side. Good job undercutting the ball, making a good play on the football.
You know, other than the 19-yard pass to Vincent Jackson, the Eagles' pass defense has been pretty good.
Yes, and it's been a while since they have been good, so it's a welcome sight for Philly fans.
Hey, Mike 95, Mike 95.
3rd down and 9. Freeman up the middle and off the hands of Dallas Clark. The usual reliable tight end, Dallas Clark, who has touchdown receptions in 3 of the last 4 games. Couldn't hold on to that pass on 3rd down, and so the Bucs will kick it away.
See Dallas Clark, who has some of the better hands in the league. Would it have been a great catch? Absolutely, but Josh Freeman's accustomed to number 44 making those catches.
So Michael Kanan on to boot it away again, and Damaris Johnson. Johnson will let it bounce, and the Bucs can't keep it in place, so it'll be a touchback. And the Eagles will get it back on the 20 in a scoreless duel. January 4th, one of the best bowl games of the year is on Fox as Heisman Trophy winner and one of the most talked about players in the country, Johnny Manziel, leads 9th-ranked Texas A&M against the 11th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic is January 4th, only on Fox. First freshman to win the big one.
Johnny Football, what a nickname and what a player. I've only seen him play once this year, but it was the one to watch. It was against Alabama. He took that game over and beat the best team in the country, or excuse me to Notre Dame fans, beat one of the best team in the country almost on his own.
First 3 possessions for the Eagles. They had to kick it away. They have not been past their own 30 in this game, and we have 3.5 to go in the first.
Good defense on both sides. This reminds me of the Eagles-Bucs battles back in the day with my defense and Brian Dawkins and Troy Vincent. A lot of defense going on then.
Your kind of game, especially -6 for Philadelphia when you played. Good that you're neutral now. First down, and the handoff is to Bryce Brown. And the Buccaneers have been able to corral him when he goes outside. This time Michael Bennett got to him first. And no gain on the play.
See Bryce Brown. Talked about the ball security issues, but there's so many positive things about this young man. First of all, an outstanding young man. Came and visited, very intelligent. Got a great story. Didn't play much in college. Actually made his first start when he made it with the Eagles a couple of weeks ago. First one since high school.
Boy, and he really made it happen. 2nd down, and here is Jeremy Maclin on the wide receiver screen. Gets about 4.5 yards. So Bryce Brown, rookie from Kansas State, 7th-round pick.
Here he is. You just watch. You see the vision. You see the speed. That's the problem. You see that loose ball, the ball out there. Guys in this league, they see something like this, they go after it. But I mentioned there's so much positive. There's the fumble that happened against the Cowboys. This guy is a game-breaking player. Speed, strength, vision, everything you want in a running back.
By the way, Anthony Gator, who is shaken up back in the secondary for the last couple of plays for Tampa Bay. And here is Foles off balance, and he completes the pass to the 42-yard line to Riley Cooper. So Cooper, a local kid from Clearwater Catholic High School, grabs it for 16.
Riley Cooper, I talked to him on the field. He said he used to come to these games in Tampa as a fan, and now he's making plays. And I think the emergence of Riley Cooper is really a positive sign for the Eagles. They've got smaller receivers in Deshaun Jackson and Maclin. He gives them a different body type Nick Foles really likes throwing to him.
And a touchdown catch against the Cowboys. And a first down. And here is Bryce Brown again trying to go outside. And Rondé Barber was the last to get him with help from Ahmad Block. No gain there. So Brown has not gotten unleashed yet.
Well, here's earlier in the game, Dick, and you just watch that football. That ball's loose. Bryce Brown, to rectify that problem, has been meeting with Deuce Staley, the old Philly running back, on the coaching staff. They've been watching film of Adrian Peterson, who back in his rookie year had a fumble problem. Adrian Peterson has addressed it. There's Deuce Staley. They're trying to get him high and tight, they say. 4 points of pressure. Keep that ball high and tight. The message hasn't got across, particularly in traffic. They want him to do it.
He's fumbled 3 times, but this is going to be a pass downfield. And it's overthrown to rookie Marvin McNutt, who entered the game. Rookie from Iowa. And Daniel Tionesheim putting the pressure on. And, you know, Tampa Bay does put pressure on, even though, as you mentioned, not a lot of sacks this year.
Not a lot of sacks this year. They've got 2 today, but they do affect quarterbacks. They rush, they hit quarterbacks about as much as anybody in this league.
3rd and 10. The Eagles are 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions so far. Foles, and it's Rondé Barber in his face, but he completes the pass to Jason Avant. Tough play for Nick Foles under pressure. They'll be short of the first down by a couple of yards. He gets 7 out of it. Here comes Rondé.
Here comes Rondé, a great blitzer. They apply the pressure. Rondé does a nice job. Foles does a great job of getting the ball out, but it's an outstanding tackle in space by Anthony Gator, stopping Jason Avant short of the first down.
So once again, 4th down, and the Eagles punting for the 4th time. Matt McBriar will kick it away, and once again, Parrish is back deep. And this one, see if anyone got a hand on this one, because this looked like it might have been deflected at the line. Not sure about it, and the punt goes out of bounds. So the Eagles, who have lost 8 in a row, 3rd longest single season losses. And how long has it been? Well, 70 days since the Eagles' last win. Phillies beat the Nationals since then. The Giants swept the Tigers since that last victory by the Eagles. Barack Obama was re-elected president of these great United States, and last night Johnny Manziel became the first freshman to win the Heisman Trophy. A lot happened, John.
Translation, been a long time. Been a long time for Andy Reid, and been a tough season for this man. I got so much respect for him. I know he's not too popular in Philly right now, but he'll have plenty of people wanting his services if he's not with the Eagles moving forward.
Bucs starting from the 23 in the scoreless game. Here's Doug Martin, and Martin head down. Really, he has that ability. Head down to burrow his way for yardage. Got 6 there, and that should be the last play of the first quarter. You're right about Andy Reid. Quarterback will be demand if he's gone. That's the end of the first quarter. Good defensive battle going on here between the Bucs and the Eagles. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. Taking the world by storm, Gangnam Style. As we start the second quarter here in Tampa, Nick Stockton along with John Lynch and Jennifer Hale. No score. It'll be 2nd down and 3, and LeGarrette Blount in the game for the first time at running back for the Buccaneers, and he'll get a chance to get the first down, but he'll be knocked back by the Eagles. So scoreless game. I don't know how many people expected that, but reminiscent of when your guys used to go against the Eagles in the days of yore.
Well, they're playing some great defense. Both defenses are getting after it up front, and that's where it starts. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. The Philly corners, I think, have come to play today. Andy Reid told us they were on thin ice. He didn't like their play. He didn't like their effort of late. Neither have I. They've come out to play, have Nnamdi Asomugha and Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
I've never seen you so a little bit upset about what you saw from the secondary in football. Doug Martin back in, and Martin gets the call, and the Eagles are there. Neither running back has been able to get anywhere so far in this game. That'll be a loss of 1 thanks to rookie Vinny Curry.
What you love to see is great effort. You love to see people run into the football. Watch Vinny Curry all the way up here. Gonna toss the ball. Kendricks gets in there, penetrates. That's good football right there. Surrounding the football and then finishing with bad intentions.
Kanan will punt. So the Buccaneers have 22 yards rushing. Eagles -2. Damaris Johnson on the return end. Here's Johnson at the 20. Good coverage by the Buccaneers, and he is down at the 23. Myron Lewis making the tackle. Let's see more of the Gangnam Style here, taking the world by storm. That's Team Extreme on the jet skis. Ever try that?
Never. Don't care to.
Just curious. First down for the Eagles on the 23. Bryce Brown. -2 yards in 5 attempts. Trying to improve on that number, and he's not going to. And it was Anthony Gator shaken up early, coming in from the secondary in a loss of 1. The Eagles near the bottom of the league in scoring, but they scored 33 against Dallas, John, and that was the highest point total of the year.
And to get going today, Danny Reed said, look, we're not set up. He's talking about the protection up front. To get back there and throw 50 times, we have to have balance. The problem is you're going against the #1 run defense in the league. And we see right now the Tampa Bay defense is playing the game in the Eagles' backfield.
And Foles will go down, and Theo Nesheim comes in untouched up the middle for the 3rd sack of the game, and we're still early in the 2nd quarter here.
Theo Nesheim, they're a stunning defense. He's going to come underneath King Dunlap. That's just bad protection by Dunlap, who's filled in and been playing well of late, but filling in for Jason Peters, who was hurt before the season ever started. A long list of injuries for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And let's not forget Theo Nesheim getting a chance. Adrian Claiborne out with the knee, went on IR in September. So that's the story under Nick Foles so far. 3rd down and 17. Tries to get some of it back, and he does, to Jeremy Maclin, who is tackled at the 30. And it'll be 4th down and another punt coming up for Philadelphia.
We've seen a lot of the punters, both defenses, as we've chronicled, playing outstanding defense, really playing hard, playing good football, running to the football, hitting people. Well played defensive game thus far.
This will be the 9th punt of the game. Each team has managed 2 first downs. So Matt McBriar will kick, and Parrish to receive it. And here's Parrish inside the 20. Here's Parrish getting a chance here. And Parrish spinning his way, still on his feet. And goes out of bounds at midfield. Good return of 31 yards by Roscoe Parrish, the former Buffalo Bill. See what Josh Freeman does with this field position. Back here in Tampa, ball control virtually even. First and 10 at the 48. This is the Bucs' 5th possession of the game. They've crossed midfield twice. Got as far as the 39. After the longest punt return of the year for Parrish and the Bucs, 31 yards. Freeman on 1st down. Checks down, flag is down, and Martin makes the catch. Ryan's on the tackle, gain of 1. And Ron Winter will give us the call here.
Holding. Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty.
That's DeMar Dotson, the right tackle.
Dick, that Philly defense, we talked about them playing better. But last week it was not good, and you talked about me being upset. Listen, you're going to break coverages in this league. Things are going to happen. But lack of effort, that bothers me because it's disrespectful to your coach, to your teammates, and to the game. And I want you to watch this. At the end of the play, and I'm going to call them out, both corners, Rogers Cromartie and Nnamdi Asomugha. That's a shame. They got an opportunity to tackle Miles Austin at the 6-yard line. They don't even try. That's disrespectful to the game of football. Don't like it. Can't have it.
And they dump it off to Martin, but Fletcher Cox is there, and there'll be a loss that time of 6 yards. And when you mentioned that to Andy Reid, he kind of nodded his approval of your observation, and he respects you, and we know that for years. And that's why he said, and you pointed it out, that those corners are on thin ice.
They're on thin ice. He let them know this week. He talked to them both. He told them so. And you just can't play like that. It's one thing to get beat. It's going to happen at that position. But when you're getting beat with lack of effort, too many people that would love the opportunity to play this game, and it's awful.
Second down at 26. Freeman going on top to Williams, and it's knocked away by Rogers Cromartie. Good coverage there, and good timing there, as he knocks it away on the pass intended for Williams.
And this is why it's so sickening, because he's so talented. This kid can play football. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. That's an excellent football play by Rogers Cromartie. You can go strut your stuff after a play like that. And he's playing well today, as is Nnamdi Asomugha. So the message got across.
Well, you know, and we don't know about Andy Reid's future, but he's making the moves. He's the head coach for the season here. And he says, we got young on offense. He says, you know, we're maybe headed getting younger on defense as well. Third down and 26. Freeman drills it, and that was nearly picked off by Asomugha. Dallas Clark was downfield, and Asomugha still down.
Asomugha goes up and attacks the football. Going to play cover 2. He's playing in the flat, going to bump Mike Williams very aggressively, and then attacks the football. Dallas Clark undercuts him, and he comes down hard.
And he is shaken up. That's a tough fall for Asomugha, but your point about the 2 veteran corners so far in this game playing a lot better. Back here in Tampa, and Nnamdi Asomugha, who went high to break up that pass, first covering Williams and then coming over to defend against Dallas Clark. This is what occurred.
Dallas Clark going for the football, kind of undercuts Asomugha, and he just takes a really hard fall. You can see that left arm get caught underneath, the head hit the ground. And the fans showing their appreciation for Asomugha getting up. Outstanding play by Asomugha.
Veteran coming over from the Oakland Raiders and very much in demand.
And the league just does not play around with these concussions, those type of things these days. You mentioned it earlier. I mean, this is a team that has been ravaged. Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy, Selleck earlier today, and now Asomugha. Not just players, but some of their best players.
Yeah, the top 3 offensive players, the quarterback, Vick, McCoy, the running back, and Jackson, the wide receiver. So Michael Kanan will punt again, and Damaris Johnson on the 20. Chance to get some yards, and he does. He's tripped up, and a flag is down as well. Back on the 30, where the punter was, and Andrew Economos. Flag back at the 30. Ron Winter.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, number 57 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty.
Adam
First
Hayward
down.
with the foul, and now Kurt Menefee with a game break.
Andy Dalton and the Bengals had a 10-3 lead, but that was before he threw the pick. The Brandon Carr ran all the way back to the 27-yard line. DeMarco Murray back for the first time in 6 games, took it in from a yard out, tied things 10 apiece. That's where they stand right now in Cincinnati. Dick and John.
Well, you look at the NFC East, but if you look at the wild card race, Washington and Dallas, both the game behind the Giants, who play the Saints later on America's Game of the Week. But the Redskins, Cowboys, and Bucs all tied 6-6 if you're looking at the wild card possibilities, and it's that tight of a race going on. And they're working on Asomugha over on the bench.
And Dick, that's why we talked about in the open on the simplify the game portion, it's a must win. And that's the only thing the Bucs can do. You can't scoreboard watch. From experience, when you take care of your end of the bargain, you just win games, good things happen.
Face mask penalty. Here's the wild card story. And with the Bears, now a wild card with Green Bay having the tiebreaker at 8-4. Seattle is 7-5. There's the bunch of teams, including St. Louis with 6 losses. And it may get down to the fact that winning a division may be your best effort to get into postseason. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 back on the 43. Or up to the 43 after the face mask against Hayward. Foles threads the needle and gets a first down to the 33-yard line. Pass is caught by Clay Harbor.
I like that adjustment by Marty Mornhinweg. They're putting heat on your quarterback. They're snuffing out your run game. So what do? You go to that old West Coast offense. Get the ball out of his hand quickly. An accurate throw. Run yards after the catch. Nice execution by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Deepest penetration for the Eagles. 9.5 to go in the second quarter from the 33-yard line. And this pass incomplete. Macklin. So now it'll be 2nd down and 10. Scoreless game, and you got to say it's somewhat of a surprise when you look at the high-scoring exploits of the Bucs coming into this game.
And Philadelphia lit up the Cowboys last week. They didn't win the game, but they were explosive on offense, and so you expected a potent offensive game. But as you see, Nnamdi Asomugha, one of the players responsible for holding these offenses intact today.
And he's heading for the locker room. So it's 2nd and 10 for the rookie Nick Foles. He'll hand it off to Bryce Brown. And guess what? Bryce Brown's going to lose more. Rondé Barber shadowing him beautifully. And Bryce Brown has not been able to get unleashed. He has carried 7 times for a loss of 9 yards.
A lot of these runs that Philadelphia Eagles and Bryce Brown have been having success with are these delayed, these sprint draw type runs. This is a fast defense. You aren't going to beat them to the edge. You got to run downhill. I think they need more quick hitting runs straight downhill, because you go sideways on this defense, they'll run you down.
And that's not good. If you want to get into field goal range, now you're back at the 40-yard line where it's 3rd down and 17. And here comes everybody. Foles has to get rid of it in a hurry, and one-handed catch is made by Jason Avant. One of the big circus catches of the year for 20.
Unbelievable catch by Jason Avant. The left elbow's down. That's going to be a catch, and what a wonderful one it is.
And a timeout has been called by the Buccaneers before the snap, and you know why that is. And let's see if there's a challenge flag thrown.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Tampa Bay. This is a 30-second timeout.
Bucs call a timeout.
And I'm sure Schiano trying to buy some time, but that's a catch. That's a catch all day long. He brings it in. The left elbow's down. At that point, he's in. Unbelievable catch. One of the catches of the year by Jason Avant. A great job by the young quarterback. They brought the pressure. He threw that off his back foot, gave his receiver a chance, and Jason Avant went and got it.
What a catch by Jason Avant, and it looked like Schiano had sent 11 men in against him. He didn't, of course, because there was a defender. So 20-yard gain, and now they're back to the 20 with a first down in a scoreless game here in the first half. Here's Brown. And Brown, with his best run of the day, gets another first down inside the Bucs 10.
And that's what I'm talking about. Forget the delayed runs. Get downhill, and you're going to see the sideways nature, the zone blocking scheme, and then it's just a race. Bryce Brown against Rondé Barber. Bryce Brown outruns Barber and then gets downhill. That's the kind of running. Is it to the outside? Yes, but it's got a more downhill demeanor to it. That's the kind of run that will work against this defense.
That 11-yard gain gives the Eagles a first and goal at the 9. They go again to Brown. And this time Brown will lose maybe 2. Michael Bennett was quickly in there. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
See another negative yardage run play for the Tampa Bay defense. Coming into today, 73. Second in the league was Detroit with 54, so they're far outpacing the rest of the league in terms of playing in the opponent's backfield. The problem's been the pass. They've been getting torched.
John, have been 7 negative plays thanks to the Bucs defense. 2nd and goal, play action. Foles getting a rush and throws this one away, and it was Gary Gibson who started today, making his first start of the year for Roy Miller, putting the rush on Foles. So it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 10.
And a good decision by Nick Foles. Good coverage in the red zone. Bad things can happen when you try to force the football. He wisely throws the football out of bounds and lives to see another down.
Right now, Greg Schiano would take a field goal try by Philadelphia. 3rd and goal from the 10. And the pass, great pressure on, incomplete, and it was Michael Bennett that time. And it's beginning to look like the Buccaneers can come on at will against Nick Foles.
These guys came to play. The up front guys for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, McCoy, Michael Bennett. Michael Bennett, the last couple of games, his play has slipped. He started out, I thought, playing at all-pro level. Has been quiet the last couple of games. Not quiet at all today.
Alex Henry, who has hit 21 field goals in a row, has not missed since the opening game of the year against the Browns. This will be a 28-yard attempt, and it gives the Eagles a 3-0 lead. So we finally have points in this game in Tampa with 7:13 remaining, and it's Foles under great pressure who makes the big pass, and you won't see a better catch this year from Jason Abad. Alex Henry with his 22nd straight field goal, giving the Eagles the lead. Nick Foles with Andy Reid over on the sideline, so it's 3-0. Eagles lead, 7:13 to go. Tyquan Underwood, who's returning kicks for the first time this season, is back.
And Dick, you were in the same meeting I was in. You get the impression Andy Reid really likes this quarterback, Nick Foles. He's a fan.
Well, you remember what he said before the opening game against the Browns. He had high praise. Underwood will return this from 7 yards in, and he'll be down shy of the 15-yard line. Well, this Tuesday, Fox has a gift for the entire family. All new holiday comedies keep you laughing with Raising Hope, followed by Ben and Kate, New Girl, and The Mindy Project. Nothing's better than the gift of laughter, all starting at 8/7 Central this Tuesday on Fox. Always unexpected. A little laugh track to emphasize the point. 1st down at the 15. Curtis Marsh has come in the game at corner, replacing Nnamdi Asomugha, who was shaken up, went to the locker room. There's Martin, and Martin gets out to the 20-yard line. For more on Asomugha, let's check in with Jennifer Head.
Well, Dick, Eagles trainers are evaluating Nnamdi Asomugha for a neck injury, which makes sense. He never removed his helmet on his walk to the locker room. He also suffered a bruised thigh and is now questionable to return.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. So the beat goes on as far as Eagle injuries.
I'll tell you what, you talk to former football players, current football players, what hurts most, who hit you the hardest? The ground is the answer. This ground, when you go down hard, there's nothing worse than hitting a hard surface.
Eric Loring goes wide to the right, the fullback. And here is the pass, and Dallas Clark with a great catch with the hit as well. And a great catch by Clark. Cromartie on the defense and a gain of 19.
I think that's just good football on both sides. A great throw by Josh Freeman on time. And then good solid play by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, the cornerback, getting on him for not playing hard. He's playing hard today. Good physical hit by Cromartie. I think both teams can appreciate that football.
And holding on after the catch was Clark. 1st down at the 39. And here is Freeman. Gets some pressure. And the pass closer to an Eagle than to a Buccaneer. And it was Kendricks defending Martin downfield. And You can see Josh Freeman not happy with what? The protection?
The protection. He had Trent Cole, I believe, in his face. Hits his arm. A great play by Doug Martin going up in there, and Vincent Jackson breaking it up, and Colt Anderson making a start for Kurt Coleman. He had an opportunity. You cannot let those get away. Had the ball in his hands. Only 10 takeaways for this Philly defense. 31st, second to last in the league. Not good enough.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Here's Martin. Martin trying to beat Rogers Cromartie, and Cromartie equal to the task. Comes up and makes the tackle and holds Martin to 2. Boy, this is an inspired Eagle defense.
Well, I think Andy Reid should have had that conversation about 6 weeks ago, because he got into these corners and they have responded. Nnamdi Asomugha, we hope he's all right, but we've seen Rogers Cromartie making plays in the passing game, playing physical football. This is not easy. Doug Martin, one of the finest running backs in this league, in space, and he brings them down.
On the sideline, has averaged 2.7 the last 2 games. 3.8 so far in this one with 34 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8. DJ Ware, good protector, and a good out of the backfield is in. And here is Freeman, and the pass is intended for Underwood, incomplete, 4th down. That was not a good offensive sequence for Tampa Bay, and the Eagles had a lot to say about it.
I tell you what, Josh Freeman, he's hot right now, and I think he doesn't like the route that Tyquan Underwood ran. You see him right there. Very frustrated the last couple of weeks because he knows what this offense is capable of. They've started to slip a little bit. He's got to be more accurate, and it looks like a little bit of miscommunication on the route.
Damaris Johnson is back. And Keenan. Good kick, sending Johnson back inside his 10. Checking the sideline with a little slip, and out of bounds he goes. Well, halftime is coming up with 4:37 to go. For a preview, here is Kurt Benefit.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, all the scores and highlights from around the league. Plus, can RG3 come up with a W in the Battle of the Beltway? And was it a big return for Big Ben against the Chargers? We'll find that out and a whole lot more as these guys will join us on the Visa Halftime.
All right, Kurt, looking forward to it. There is the head coach and the quarterback going over some things. Freeman so far 4 for 13, only 36 yards. Meanwhile, the Eagles with a first down on the 20. Foles on the slant, completes to Riley Cooper. And he is hit immediately by E.J. Biggers. Gain of 6.
Josh Freeman, and we talked about that frustration. I think this offense is so much predicated on the run game. That's what they believe in. You're going to run the football. Off that comes the play action, the shots downfield. When they don't run it, it becomes difficult for this team to operate.
They haven't done much of either. Rushing yards 29, passing 36. Meanwhile, the Eagles with a 2nd down and 4, and another completion and a first down this time to Cooper. 2 in a row for Cooper. He gets 5 this time.
And you can feel the rhythm start to be established for Nick Foles in this Philadelphia Eagle offense. They're throwing. I think the adjustment they made was quick throws, getting the ball out of the young kid's hands, and his receivers are doing some good work for him.
Foles' numbers thus far, 6'6", 243 yards, so you won't see many passes knocked down at the line. Completes another one, this time to Damaris Johnson, who breaks away from a missed tackle and gets a first down out to the 45. Rondé Barber makes the tackle, and so pecking away this time. 14 yards for Andy Reid's club. And the Eagles, who lead 3-0, and under 3.5 to go in the first half.
And this Damaris Johnson, this guy's an exciting football player. He went 98 yards on a punt return at Dallas last week. The guy can go. 3 years at Tulsa, NCAA's all-time, all-purpose yardage leader. He can make some plays.
Foles swings it out to Bryce Brown. Looks like Brown slipped a bit and will end up with a couple of yards. And you mentioned Damaris Johnson, that 98-yard punt return was the longest in Eagles history, and they've got quite a history.
Hard to take a punt much longer than that. I mean, that thing's backed up, but this kid, he's a game-breaking player. I talked to David Culley, their receiver coach, on the field. He said this kid's starting to open up some eyes.
Second down and 8. Here's Brown. And Bryce Brown tackled by Levante David, who had his first career interception last week against the Broncos, picking up 4 yards.
And he had it against Peyton Manning. And we talked to Levante about where you putting that ball. And he said that one's special. That one's going on the display list. And an outstanding rookie is Levante David.
Dion Lewis will come in at running back. Bryce Brown gets a breather. It'll be longer than you think. We're down to the 2-minute warning here in Tampa. First of all, good news, Don. The Asawa X-rays on his neck are negative, and teams have had a long ways to go on third down so far in this half. Not so for Philadelphia here. It'll be 3rd down and 4 following our 2-minute warning. The ball at the 49 of Tampa Bay. Bryce Brown, you got a breather. With the 2-minute warning is back in there. In motion, Damaris Johnson. A lot of receivers on the right side for Nick Foles. And Foles downfield, and an open man is Jason Avant. And Jason Avant, who made a sensational one-handed catch, was all alone back at the 10, and it'll be 1st down for Philly.
You talk about getting better. Nick Foles gets pressure from both sides, Morgan and Bennett. And 2 weeks ago, he tries to escape outside. This time, he trusts the pocket, as he said he had to do. That extends the play. He keeps his eyes downfield. He finds Jason Avant. That's great quarterback play by Nick Foles. And you see both feet down for Jason Avant.
That's a 39-yard play. And one thing we know about Nick Foles, he can ad-lib with the best of them, it seems. 1st and goal for the Eagles. Dion Lewis has come in at running back. And here's Foles seeing open spaces. And Foles trying to get into the end zone. And he does. A touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run for Nick Foles, and the Eagles have taken a 9-0 lead.
I'll tell you what, he didn't look like Bryce Brown. He wasn't as fleet of footage you'd like to see, but he got there, and if they're going to give it to him, they fake the run to the left. The entire Tampa defense goes there, leaves a wide open field for Nick Foles. You could see he didn't want to run, but finally he had no other choice, and he does for a touchdown.
And it's 9-0 now, and Alex Henry will try to add the 10th point. So the combination of Foles and Avant playing major roles in the 2 scores of the Eagles so far. And with 1:40 to go in the half, it's the Eagles trying to break an 8-game losing streak, leading the Buccaneers 10-0.
You're going to see all this pressure from the Buccaneers. You got to open your eyes if you're Levante David. I don't know who he's going after. It's a screen pass to the left, and you're chasing the screen, the running back, but you got to also put an edge on the quarterback. Nick Foles isn't a threat to beat you with the run, but if you give him a completely open field, he'll take it, and he does.
So the Eagles go 80 yards in under 3 minutes on that drive. And we told you how tough it was on 3rd downs with a lot of yardage. They only needed 4, and they made the most of that.
The block, and there comes Foles.
Jeremy Maclin with the block that time, and a good one. And Nick Foles 5 for 5 for 56 yards on that drive. And Andy Reid saying this week, Michael Vick, of course, is out with the concussion problem, that Nick Foles will be his quarterback the rest of the way.
Nick Foles said, that doesn't change my approach. My approach the whole time is get better every day. And I'll tell Nick Foles, that's what the great ones do. They find a way to get better each and every week.
Underwood on the return and trying to change his mind and didn't, and maybe happy he didn't as he carries it out to the 23. Tyquan Underwood tackled by Curtis Marsh. So Foles, who is now 14 of 20 for 154 yards, and that's his first career rushing touchdown. And the Eagles looking to break the losing streak, and now the Bucs furrowed brows defensively, John.
Yes, they are. And this offense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers needs to help that defense out. Josh Freeman, he's got to get going. These receivers have to step up. Vincent Jackson been very quiet, only 1 catch. It's time to deliver for the Tampa Bay offense.
Bucs have 2 timeouts remaining. 1st down from the 23. Trying to avoid being shut out for a first half for the first time this year. And this was way off the mark. Kendricks defending Dallas Clark and not even close.
This is a Philadelphia defense that has given up a high percentage of throws to every quarterback the last 6 weeks. And here Josh Freeman now sitting at 4 for 14 on the day. Again, miscommunication between Freeman and Dallas Clark here. And a really good play by the linebacker, Kendricks.
Only 36 passing yards for the Buccaneers compared to 127 for the Eagles. It'll be 2nd and 10. Freeman gets good protection, and this one caught by Jackson. Vincent Jackson in stride. And a first down into Eagle territory as Nate Allen makes the tackle. And a gain of 25.
That's what you do. When you're struggling, you go to your best player, and Vincent Jackson has become that on this offense for the Buccaneers.
Not quite in Eagle territory. They're at the 48. Freeman goes down, and a flag goes down, and 2 go down. 2 penalty markers down. Fletcher Cox coming in on Freeman, and that'll be the first time the Eagles have gotten to Freeman today for a sack.
Holding. Offense number 69. Penalties decline. 2nd down.
They will decline the holding penalty against Dotson.
Josh Freeman looking to the right at Vincent Jackson. They're doing a great job of undercutting these wide receivers. And Josh Freeman, at this point, it's not there. You got to throw the football away. You can't take the sack. Josh Freeman off his game today.
2nd down and 18. Now back at the 40. They were at the 48. And this pass down the sideline, and good defense this time. Marsh on Mike Williams. Boy, this has been a terrific first half for the Eagles secondary. 3rd down and 18 with 52 seconds left in the half.
See Curtis Marsh, who's pressed into duty with Asamoah being injured, and that's a good football play. Go up, attack the football. Tough to do against Mike Williams, who's as good as on one-on-one situations as anybody in this league.
Well, so far the Eagles are taking heed to what Brent Selleck was yelling in their huddle that we showed earlier.
Heart and dignity. They're playing with it today.
Bucs still have 2 timeouts left, but they have a 3rd and long here, and they're not going to get away as Freeman is sacked by Cullen Jenkins. And this crowd really displeased with what they've seen from the Buccaneers, especially their offense.
Well, whatever Tommy Brazier did in 3 days, it's working, because this D-line's getting after people. You see Brandon Graham come, and then Cullen Jenkins with the finish.
And a loss of 3, and now the Eagles, who will get the ball back with 38 seconds to go, use their first timeout of the day. Tommy Brazier, in a distinguished coaching career, 20 years as we mentioned as an NFL defensive line coach. And with the Eagles, Falcons, Buccaneers, and Seahawks, old school would be the best way. I guess what else would he be?
That's what Trent Cole said. He said, if you're going to play for Tommy Brazier, and Trent did his rookie year, you better come to work. You better pay attention and focus. He strives for the perfect game from his players each and every week.
Like Sullivan and Josh Freeman. That's Freeman's story. 5 for 16 with 61 yards. And Kanan will be kicking to Damaris Johnson. 38 seconds to go, and the Eagles will have 2 timeouts remaining. And there is Johnson, and he will be dropped at the 26. Let's zero in on the NFC playoff picture, John. And right now, Atlanta's the only one that's clinched the division title, and Chicago and Green Bay 8-4, and Dallas losing 13-10 to Cincinnati. Bears are losing to Minnesota 14-7. So there are 2 teams that could be headed for a 7th loss, and Atlanta is losing to Carolina, and Baltimore is leading Washington. So right now it's not bad for Tampa Bay to see a lot of those 6 and 6s on the short end.
But as we said, a must-win for them. They got to take care of their business, and they're going to have to turn the fortunes of this game because they're getting outplayed and outplayed badly in this first half.
First down and 10 at the 26. Foles will swing it out to Dion Lewis, and Lewis with Macklin blocking in front of him How about Jeremy Maclin and his block, allowing Foles to score a touchdown, and now Dion Lewis to get extra yards. He got 28.
Well, you mentioned Maclin. Watch Riley Cooper here on his block. He's not going to get the ball, so what do? You get up and you block, and he pins Leonard Johnson. That opens up the gate for Dion Lewis. These receivers doing an outstanding job catching the ball, but also blocking downfield. There's Jeremy Maclin. These guys are playing with heart and dignity.
And a first down and 10 at the 46 of Tampa Bay. Good protection there, and going to Cooper, and covering was E.J. Biggers. Well, we know that Freeman likes to take a lot of shots downfield, but we're seeing that from the rookie Foles.
And he's a gunslinger. They mentioned fearless is what Andy Reid calls him. Taking those shots, that's well worth it. You back up the defense, you got a shot one-on-one. You like that matchup? A near miss for Nick Foles.
You know, you have 11 seconds before you go down to the field with the rest of your great teammates and coaches from your Super Bowl championship of 2002.
Never thought I'd be introduced on a field again. I get one more.
Well deserved. Second down and 10, and the pass is caught by Clay Harbor, and that'll be a first down. Harbor, you remember, came in for Brent Selleck, who suffered a concussion, and a timeout called by the Eagles with 4 seconds to go, and Alex Henry hasn't quite come on the field yet to try the field goal, and now here he comes. Henry coming on, having kicked one earlier, has 22 field goals in a row.
Looking at about a 52-yarder for Henry.
His longest was from 48 yards. In fact, this is his first attempt this year from 50 or beyond. It'll be a 53-yard attempt. 23 of 24 on the campaign. And flags are down.
This would just be a critical mistake, a false start
that
by
takes
the
him out of
Eagles.
it.
Oh, my goodness.
Really, the 53 would have been a career long for Henry. Now it'll be a 58.
See, it's that left tackle. Can't quite make out who that is.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Now. Well, now it would be 58 yards.
He's keeping him out there, but I'll tell you what, it's a humid day here in Tampa. Thick air. Going to be tough for Alex Henry. He does have the wind going a little bit in that direction.
Well, will he make it 23 in a row from the longest of his career? 5 seconds to go, and this kick toward the left, and it hits the upright and bounces left. No good. Came close, did Alex Henry, but he misses as time runs out. And Andy Reid's Eagles, who are playing inspired on both sides of the ball, there's the kick hitting the upright, missing the 58-yard. It's halftime with the score, the Eagles 10 and the Buccaneers nothing. A surprise to say the least. And we'll be back right here after these messages. And we're getting ready for the start of the third quarter, and for the first time this year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been held scoreless in the first half. And want to remind you to follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Take a look at the offensive leaders for the Eagles, who lead 10-0, and Nick Foles with his first rushing touchdown of his career. Jason Avant with 2 big catches, one really spectacular, and Bryce Brown 10 rushes for only 5 yards, and we'll send it down to Jennifer Hale. Jen.
Well, Dick, Andy Reid tells me he's very proud of the pressure that this Brazier defense is bringing against Josh Freeman. He's noticing a difference, and so is Greg Schiano. He says, yes, some of the techniques are different than what we were prepared for, but his advice at halftime to Josh Freeman was, hey, settle in and don't chase the game, Dick.
That's a good idea, Jennifer, and that's a good way of putting it. Don't chase the game. And Freeman hasn't been himself, and a lot of routes not run correctly, and he's gotten some pressure. 5 of 16 for Freeman. 61 yards. And this is a game that Greg Schiano knows his team has lost 2 in a row, want to get over 500. And Alex Henry gets the third quarter underway, and it goes out of the end zone for a touchback. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the ball first, and let's see, in a scoreless first half for them, what they've been doing. Freeman, those numbers not what he's accustomed to, and Doug Martin averaging 3.8 yards per carry. His longest run was 7, and Vincent Jackson has 2 catches, the only semblance of a passing game right there for the Buccaneers. They'll start from the 20. The Eagles, meanwhile, given up at least 26 points in each of the last 7 games, and none so far. And rolling out on the first play, and the pass is caught. And a first down up to the 37-yard line. Tyquan Underwood, 17 yards. And for the Eagles, Nnamdi Asomugha, who went into the locker room, is back out and on the field now. As you take a look at that play fake by Freeman, and this is a perfect way to get underway for the Bucs in the second half. And if he's not out of breath, he should still be playing in the NFL. John Lynch, and we're going to welcome back, John, and we're going to show what happened at halftime as Doug Martin with the game, and Martin carries it out to the 41-yard line. And as we mentioned, Nnamdi Asomugha back in action for an Eagles secondary that has really excelled in this first half. How was it down there?
That was a lot of fun. I tell you what, my teammates here, Simeon Rice and Derek Brooks, are standing here. We all said we got that adrenaline. We felt like we were 28 again running out there on that field.
You look like, Shannon saying, can you suit up for the second half? This pass and a great catch made by Mike Williams with Asomugha on his back. So you can see Freeman coming out firing here in the third quarter. That good for 14 yards. And a first down to the 46 of Philly.
And I like the adjustment that the Bucs have now made. We talked about the Eagles making it in the first half. They're struggling to block the defensive front for the Philadelphia Eagles. So what do? You go to quick and simple throws. Get the ball out of Freeman's hand. They're doing it, and it's working.
That's the first catch of the game for Williams. Came in second on the team with 43, and a first down on the 45. Play action. Up the middle. Pass caught at the 41 by Doug Martin. Kendricks, who's playing the weak side linebacker position today. He's normally been strong side, the rookie from the University of California, playing weak side, and Jamar Chaney, the strong side backer.
The thing that Doug Martin does so well is that he does everything well. We talked to Andy Reid. What do you like most about this young kid? He said, I don't like a whole lot right now because we have to play him here today. But he does everything well. He runs it well. He catches it well. He's a complete football player.
Second down and 4 on the 41 of the Eagles. And there's Freeman getting away from a big rush. And that pass will be incomplete. D'Amico Ryans didn't give much choice for Freeman but to throw it away. And that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Well, a blitz right up in the middle, right in Josh Freeman's face. And Andy Reid said the one thing we feel like he doesn't play as well versus the blitz. And so what do? You put D'Amico Ryans right in his face, makes Josh Freeman throw the football away, sets up a big 3rd down.
Only 1 for 8, converting 3rd downs for the Bucs today. Here they come again, and the quick release, trying to get it to Underwood. He had to get rid of that in a hurry. And it was pressure. Colt Anderson starting for Kurt Coleman as free safety with the safety blitz, and 4th down coming up, and Freeman's mood hasn't changed.
Again, frustration. There is miscommunication going on between Josh Freeman and Tyquan Underwood now twice today. I don't know exactly what it is he doesn't like about the route, but he doesn't like the way he's running his routes. He's not where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there, and it's bothering Josh Freeman.
This will be the 8th punt for Michael Kanan, and we've just scratched the surface here in the 3rd quarter. Tamaris Johnson is back deep. Fair catch at the 12. Loses the ball, and the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay has the ball at the 6. A muff punt, and Dakota Watson recovers The muff by Johnson, a critical turnover here.
Mistakes like this just can't be made. He certainly does touch it. Dakota Watson, an outstanding special teams player right there. His verification, it did hit his hands. Damaris Johnson's been incredibly explosive, but you got to field. You got to do the little things. A great opportunity for the Bucs.
And the Tampa Bay Bucs back in this game. And it is a muff. It is a fumble when you have possession and then lose it. In a situation like that is a muff punt. And Johnson, the GOAT right now, as the Buccaneers have the ball, 1st and goal at the 5.
We talked about it in the pregame. It's about the ball. There the turnovers bite the Eagles again.
And here's Doug Martin spinning his way and stopped at the 2. 2nd down and goal.
Look, I've been a part of it so many times. A play like that can turn around the whole feeling of a football team. All of a sudden, people start blocking a little harder. Runners start running a little harder. You feel good about yourself. You let someone back in the game, they'll bite you.
And we have an injured Buccaneer on the field. As of Martin's numbers, neither running back has lit it up so far in this game. And we'll identify the injured player when we return. Second down and goal from the 2-yard line. Play fake and the pass and overthrowing Dallas Clark, who was in the back of the end zone. So now it'll be 3rd and goal, and Freeman knocked on his back once again. The Buccaneers trying to take advantage of the first turnover of the game. Muff punt. They had 1st and goal at the 5 and now 3rd and goal at the 2.
A missed opportunity because Dallas Clark has space. Josh a little late with it. Throw it right now. You got a touchdown. He holds on just a split second. That allows the coverage to get back, and Josh Freeman has to put the ball over Dallas Clark's head.
The injured Buck was Javon Meredith, the right guard. He came out, now back in. 3rd and goal. Freeman. And he makes the catch. Touchdown, Mike Williams. With a defender on his back. Good play by Williams on a good zip throw by Josh Freeman for the touchdown.
And Mike Williams, we said it earlier, as good as anybody in the league on one-on-one balls. That's just a good fight. He goes up. Strong receiver is Mike Williams, a lot like Chris Carter back in the day. Goes up and grips it, plucks the ball with his hands. Great throw by Freeman, giving Mike Williams a chance to go get it, and Mike Williams delivers. And
all Nnamdi Asomugha could do is just be behind it and fight for the ball. Williams won the fight, so it's 10-6, and Connor Barth is on for the extra point. And for Mike Williams, that'll be his 7th touchdown of the year, tying him with Vincent Jackson for the club leadership. And Barth's kick is good, and the Eagle lead now is 10-7. Turnover really opening up the doors for the Buccaneers, and Freeman capitalizes it on the 3rd down and goal. And the muff punt by Damaris Johnson, and the 3rd down touchdown pass to Mike Williams from 2 yards out. And the Bucs are back in the game, trailing the Eagles 10-7. Brandon Boykin is back in the end zone. Short kick and picked up by the up man, and bouncing away is Dion Lewis, and Lewis with a good return for the Eagles, bringing it up near the 40-yard line. Well, this was the halftime celebrating the 2002 World Champions. Monty Kiffin, my partner John Lynch, who could play today, and of course John Gruden, the head coach of the team.
Please give this group of Tampa Bay players the same support you gave us, and you'll be back. Thanks a lot.
And we have with us Simeon Rice here, Derek Brooks here, John Lynch here, Paul, part of this great team. Old defensive players, I see you invited up here to the booth.
Yes, sir.
Foles is going to be sacked inside his 30 by Gerald McCoy. That's his 2nd of the game and the 4th by the team. And a big loss there.
That looked like Simeon Rice to me, exploding through the line of scrimmage. And I tell you what, Dick, what a thrill for us to get to go out there on the field, recreate those great memories. You see Gerald McCoy. That looks like an old Buccaneer defense right there, busting through. Nick Foles going to have to get rid of that football. A pretty special halftime for us.
Second down and 18, back at the 32 for Foles. And the pass out to Jason Avant. And Avant is tackled for a gain of 10 yards. So, hey, how great is it? And I know we don't have microphones for the guys, so you're going to have to speak for them. To be out there with you guys. Last night you had a great dinner, and what a weekend.
It's just an awesome celebration. You know, the way the league's set up these days, you win and then everybody goes their separate ways. Guys get fired like myself, but we all get back together and we get to celebrate some great memories, and I get to appreciate these guys who helped us all win something that you covet for the rest of your life.
And you got a ring. That's what you want to play for, right? Can't beat the ring. Third down and 8 from the 42. Foles taking off and gets the first down and slides to the 43 of the Buccaneers. Great presence of mind today by the rookie Nick Foles on many occasions.
Again, I said earlier, he's not going to kill you with his speed, but they lose their rush integrity of their lanes in just completely open space. The defensive backs had their backs turned, not expecting Nick Foles to beat them with his legs, but he has, and he's done it twice today.
He has outgained Bryce Brown. He has 24 yards to only 5 for Brown. And it's a first down on the 44. Eagles trying to threaten again, and here's Foles under pressure, and he completes the pass to Jason Avant. And Avant, who's had a magnificent day, is tackled at the 21-yard line. The one-handed catch, then the big one setting up the touchdown, and this for 23 yards.
Well, Jason Avant has been the guy that he's trusted. There's Macklin on the outside, but Foles going to step up in the pocket, deliver the ball to Avant. A great play by Nick Foles, who continues to gain in his pocket presence. Jason Avant with another big play.
So Avant now with 5 catches for 99 yards, including a 39-yarder. It'll be first down at the 21. And here is Bryce Brown going outside and upended for what should be no gain by Leonard Johnson, the rookie cornerback.
You see Bryce Brown continue to try to expose this defense to the outside, and that's not going to work. The downhill runs have worked. This defense, one of the things they have going for them is team speed, and that's why their run defense is so good. Bryce Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles, if you're going to run, you got to do it downhill.
Brown has 11 carries for only 4 yards. He did get an 11-yard gain in the first half. Now second down and 11 on the 22. Here's Foles looking for a receiver, and the pass trying to get it to Brown, incomplete. Good job downfield by the Buccaneers secondary.
Definitely good coverage all the way around. Foles looks to extend the play. No one open, throws it away.
Now Warren Sapp is up here now, so now we got Rice, Sapp, and Brooks, and you. And
I feel like I'm going to get sacked.
I'm still waiting for your first offensive player.
Well, they aren't allowed up here.
I mean, didn't John Gruden offer some offense when he came here? Third down and 11. Up the middle, and the pass caught by Clay Harbor, short of the first down by a couple of yards. He gets 9. So he's 2 yards shy of the first down, and the field goal team will come on. Alex Henry will try to extend the Eagles' lead.
Good job by the Buccaneer defense, getting back to the sticks, keeping the ball in front of them, making a crisp tackle, setting up the field goal.
Henry connected earlier on a 28-yarder, missed the 58-yarder, not by much, hit the upright to break his string of 22 in a row. This from 31. And this one is going to be no good. Hooks it. Alex Henry, who came into the game with only 1 miss in 23 attempts, has missed 2 out of 3 here. And the score remains Eagles 10, Bucs 7, and Tampa Bay gets the ball. 7:29 remaining in the third, and the Eagles leading the Bucs 10-7, and the Eagles are keeping the Bucs within range here. Dick Stockton along with John Lynch and Jennifer Hale. It'll be a first down at the 21 for Tampa Bay. They've been outgained 228-124 by Philadelphia. And there is Freeman. He's going deep and overthrowing. Intended for Jackson. Second and 10.
I've always believed, partner, that you're going to call someone out, and I did with Rogers Cromartie. You got to praise them too when they're playing well, and this kid is having an outstanding football game today. He has immense talent. He can help the Eagles. He can help a number of teams. I told you he's going to be a free agent this offseason, but you got to do it with effort each and every week. If he does, this kid's a great cornerback.
You're right, John, and something has lit the fire under this Eagle team now. They almost beat the Dallas Cowboys last week, but they're playing certainly inspired ball. The stakes that hurt him as Martin gets the first down and more. Best run of the day for Martin, whose longest run was 7 before this 14-yard scamper and a first down to the 35.
And when you just get Doug Martin a little bit of space, he'll make yards. A good block by DeMar Dotson, the right tackle. He's going to churn his legs and get positive yards. Give him a little bit of room. He'll make the defense pay.
Harden had over 1,000 in the first 10 games of the year, but last 2 only 106. Said the rookie hitting the walls theory did not affect him. And a first down. Freeman stepping away from the rush, and Laurie, the intended receiver, but Kendricks almost had the pick.
Freeman with another errant throw, and very fortunate that the ball wasn't picked. You think of a couple of plays. Colt Anderson had the ball in his hands earlier. Kendricks would have been a great catch. Those are the ones you got to make to put people away. And we've seen Philly in the MO of this team this year. Missed opportunities. We saw the muff punt. You see the false start at the end, at the field goal at the end of the half. You see the missed field goal. Things like that. You allow a team to hang around. Dangerous.
Second and 10 from the 35. Good catch by Williams, but he can't do anything with it as he gets it to the 39 for a game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, the 11-1 Falcons trying to do the comeback thing, down 23-0 at Carolina. Roddy White with a little 4-yard reception for the score from Matt Ryan makes it 23-7. They're still in the third quarter, so maybe there's still time. Dick and John.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt. And the Falcons who have already clinched the NFC South and headed for the #1 seed.
Remember, we did round 1 of that game, and it was a feverish comeback by the Atlanta Falcons on that last series when the Carolina Panthers frankly outplayed them.
3rd and 6. Freeman. And trying to get it to Underwood and covered by Rogers Cromartie. And even though that pass was out of bounds, Cromartie did a good job in staying with Underwood.
Great coverage once again by Cromartie. Having just a superb game today, and Josh Freeman continues to be just a little bit off. See a bunch, you're going to say, these 3 got these 3. You're going to let it sort out, and then a great job closing by Rogers Cromartie.
Freeman 10 of 27 for only 102 yards. Does have a touchdown, however. Damaris Johnson is back deep. Last time he muffed it, setting up the touchdown. This time he's going to let it bounce, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. And the Eagles, after the 61-yard punt by Kanan, Foles will bring his club out. Back here in Tampa, Dick Stockton, John Lynch, and Jennifer Hale. It'll be a first down for the Eagles at the 20. Cooper and Macklin are the receivers split out. 3 are on the right side. Bowles, and a good catch made by Clay Harbor, who's playing again. Brent Selleck on the first play of the game caught a pass and then suffered a concussion on a hit. So it's been Harbor when the Eagles have used the tight end. 2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard pickup.
You continue to see the theme and the adjustment that Philadelphia made in that second quarter of the game, starting to go with quicker throws, get the ball out of Foles' hands, and put your quarterback in rhythm, and it frankly quiets people like Gerald McCoy.
2nd and 3. And here's Bryce Brown. He'll get the first down as he escapes Levante David. Enough for 4 yards. And a first down for the Eagles. So Brown has caught 2 passes for 6 yards, more yards receiving than he does rushing.
This is a good matchup between 2 really good young players. Levante David having an outstanding rookie season, and Bryce Brown just really emerging on the scene for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Really didn't have a pleasant college career. First at Tennessee and then at Kansas State. Shapes up as a solid pro career if it continues. And there's the quick outside and incomplete Jeremy Macklin, and claiming that it was a fumble, but it goes as an incompleted pass. Anthony Gator was defending. Close to being a lateral, but not quite.
Anthony Gator, they were excited about having him back, and this is why. He's an explosive player. He plays in the backfield like they like their defensive backs to do. Gets his hand on that ball. The refs emphatically call it not a catch, an incomplete ball.
And the question is, crowd wondering whether Macklin took a step and had possession before he lost it. And now we're going to have a challenge. So Ron Winter will check this one out. You read Michael Connolly's book, The Black Box, and I always thought that was about official going under the hood and looking at the black box to see what happens on a challenge, but it's not. It's a Harry Bosch story, another great one.
I tell you what, Greg Schiano may have a case. You look at him catch the ball both feet down. It's going to be an interesting challenge for the Buccaneers.
Did he make a football move? Maybe the issue here.
Of an incomplete pass.
All right, there was a challenge by Greg Schiano. Here's Ron Winter.
Because the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass, the play cannot be challenged. Tampa Bay is not charged with a timeout. They're not charged with a challenge.
So, Mike, why did they go through the motions? Mike Pereira.
They should not have gone through the motion. The one thing, this actually, the play can be challenged, but it cannot be converted to a catch and a fumble, giving the ball to the defense. So really, on the field, immediately, they should have told Schiano, you can't challenge this play. We can't review the play. Whether it's a catch, fumble, or not, the one thing, it's not a fumble play where you can convert a down by contact ruling to a fumble. It's a ruling of incomplete pass, which then you can't convert to a fumble and recovery by defense.
All right, Mike, thank you very much for clarifying it. And here is Foles, and Foles will be tackled by Levante David at the 31-yard line. The Eagles have to get to the 41. And the 5th sack of the game for no gain on the rookie quarterback.
A challenge, that's what they refer to as much ado about nothing.
Right.
They went through the motions, but it was never challengeable as Mike Pereira on it once again.
Once they say incomplete, end of story. Unless, you know, there are too many men on the field and you challenge that, which wasn't the case. 3rd down and 10 on the 30. Bucs defense with a 3-man rush looking for a hold, and here comes the blitz on Foles. Gets away from one, and a great play is made by Anthony Gator, knocking the ball away from Jason Avant. Great timing. And Foles very nearly had another completion.
Well, they're going to show the 3-man rush. Then they're going to come with a whole bunch of them. 7 end up coming. Foles steps up in the pocket. This is really a good play by Anthony Gator, who's made a couple on that series. Gator just coming back, as you said, Dick, from the IR list. Had an injured hamstring, and he's paying dividends for the Buccaneers.
Out of Florida International. Had a hamstring in preseason, so Matt McBriar will be kicking this to Roscoe Parrish. Earlier, the 31-yard punt return, longest of the year. This time gets very little. So the Buccaneers will take over with 3:14 to go in the 3rd, trailing by 3. And a chance to call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile now and get coverage of every NFL game. Well, this is why the Buccaneers have been able to come back. You talked all about it, John. Miscues, the false start, making it a 58-yard try. Duffy nearly made this one, but Henry missed at the half, and then a muffed punt by Damaris Johnson, and giving the Eagles a chance Henry missed another field goal, and that's why it's 10-7 right now. And the Buccaneers, who need this win to hang in there in the wild card derby. Special teams miscues have really hurt the Eagles. Here's Doug Martin on first down, pushes the pile and gets nearly 5.
And Dick, those are self-inflicted wounds. The Buccaneers aren't doing anything when they jump off sides, false start. When they muff a punt, those are self-inflicted wounds, and nothing will beat you quicker in this league than those type of mistakes.
Second down and 6, 4-yard pickup. The Buccaneers have dominated teams in the third quarter. Not last week, when the Broncos had a 21-0 edge. Catch made by Jackson, trying to get the first down. I don't know if he did. It'll be close. And hanging on him was Rodgers-Cromartie and Jamar Chaney.
This is one thing that you see with the Buccaneers and Josh Freeman and his wide receivers. Andy Reid talked about it. He has so much trust in his wide receivers. A big body, doesn't hesitate to throw the football. You think Rodgers-Cromartie might have an opportunity to drive on that ball, but he's got so much trust in Vincent Jackson, who stands 6'5" and 230 pounds. We had him last week. He came in the room. Looks like a defensive end.
At least. Well, an extra size, hoping to get that first down for Tampa Bay. First down at the 33, and here is Martin upended. And a superb play made that time by Colt Anderson and Cullen Jenkins.
You like to see a guy like Colt Anderson, a special teams player, and watch him come in here like he's covering a kickoff. Flies into your screen, undercuts Doug Martin. That's good aggressive play by Colt Anderson. There he is, coming from the secondary. I like that.
Colt Anderson. Third career start today for the injured Kurt Coleman. There's a pass, and Jackson makes the play and gets up, but he was ruled down by contact at the 25. Boy, talk about using full extension with his size. A 40-yard play.
We told you about the formula. They're going to throw the ball downfield when they throw it, and they love these big wide receivers as well they should. Vincent Jackson having an outstanding season, has another outstanding play for the Buccaneers.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this will be incomplete pass to Doug Martin with 48 seconds to go. Good pressure by Curry.
We go back to that last play. Not real fancy routes, a little bit of an outcut, then gets to the post. Just a good throw, and Vincent Jackson goes up and attacks the football as well as anybody in this league.
Coming over from San Diego and playing AFC West teams. His former foes now on the sideline. Underwood comes in, second down and 10 at the 27 of the Eagles. Here is Martin changing direction, and Freeman is out there as a blocker and does a job on Asamoah. Josh Freeman, who's got some size himself, sets a block and perhaps a 10-yard gain for Doug Martin.
You know what this does as much as anything, aside from allowing Doug Martin to get some more yards, it gets credibility in that locker room. When you see your franchise quarterback going downfield and blocking defensive backs downfield, that's good time. That's big time stuff by Josh Freeman.
And Martin starting to feel it here in the second half, has 69 yards on 15 carries. That's an average of more than 4.5. It'll be 3rd and 1. They gave him 9 on that one. Ball on the 18. Play action for Freeman. Has time. Throws it. Incomplete. Flag is down. Stocker, the intended receiver, but a penalty marker down in the end zone. Nate Allen, the strong safety.
There's Stocker coming into your screen, and you see Nate Allen. He's got his hands inside on Stocker. The back judge is right there. Too much contact for his liking. These safeties have struggled all year long, and it continues for the Philadelphia Eagles safeties.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, offense number 62. Pass interference, defense number 29. By rule, those penalties offset. Replay, Third down.
So Ted Larson with the penalty for the Buccaneers, and that'll nullify what would have been a first and goal situation for the Buccaneers. It'll still be 3rd down and 1.
Don't know quite what it was that Ted Larson did, but a big break for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Those are Freeman's numbers on 3rd down, and he's going to give it to Martin for the 1st down, and Martin charges, and another penalty marker thrown. Martin may have had enough for the 1st down pending the call. In fact, he would have by plenty, got to the 16.
Personal foul. Grasping the helmet opening. Defense number 75. Penalized half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
So Vinnie Curry will add the numbers. Martin had the 1st down, and now they add some more.
Here's that previous play. Ted Larson right there. His helmet comes off. And I think at some point he looks angry right there. He's going to retaliate. That's what they get. That sets up the 3rd and 1. Then another personal foul. A face mask on the Philadelphia Eagles.
And time will run out. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. The Eagles 10 and the Bucs 7. Fox NFL Sunday continues after a break from your local Fox station.
And here's the personal foul on Vinnie Curry. Watch at the end of the play. The grasp the inside of the helmet opening on Doug Martin. Another 15-yard penalty on the Philadelphia Eagles.
1st and goal for the Buccaneers as we start the 4th quarter. It's been a defensive game all the way. Dick Stockton, John Lynch, and Jennifer Hale. 1st and goal from the 8. Doug Martin. First man to get him was Kendricks. Flag down. Nothing there.
Illegal shift. 2 men moving prior to the snap. Did not reset. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
These are these dead ball fouls when you have 1st and goal or in the red zone that really can come back to haunt you.
Self-inflicted wounds now for the Buccaneers. Confusion on that. Taekwon Underwood came off the field. They sent him back on. He was mixed up on the formation, and it results in a penalty.
So now 1st and goal, but now from the 13. Incomplete to Williams. 2nd and goal. Well, the last time the Buccaneers had a 1st and goal, they had to finally wait to 3rd down before they scored.
You see Trent Cole going to get upfield, come out of the spin. He's a relentless pass rusher. Trent Cole, and he gets in Josh Freeman's face enough to distract him. And down here, the Buccaneers are very good in the red zone, 2nd in the league. Andy Reid said, good combination, big quarterback, big receivers. That works in the red zone.
From the 13, Freeman's pass is caught, and into the end zone is Vincent Jackson for the touchdown. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have their first lead of the game with 14:26 early here in the 4th.
See Vincent Jackson, he's going to work in, out, and then come in on what they call an arrow route. Great job by Freeman, leading him, hitting him in stride, and that big body again comes in handy as Vincent Jackson stretches across the goal line.
So Jackson with his 8th touchdown catch of the year and going over 100 yards for the 4th time this season. Connor Barth with the extra point and a whistle and a false start flag against the Bucs.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. Complete the try.
Well, you just got finished saying about how impressive the Tampa Bay Bucs have been in the red zone this year, and you know, the 4th highest scoring team coming in. Low for them right now, but you got to convert in a defensive game like this.
Absolutely. Just what Andy Reid said, fairly prophetic. Big quarterback, big receivers, great equation, great formula in the red zone.
And the extra point by Barth, and the Bucs lead it now 14-10. So Freeman with 2 touchdown passes in the game, one to Williams, the other to Jackson. And Tampa Bay forges in front after trailing 10-0. And we're back here in Tampa, and the Buccaneers take care of business. You know, other teams, you can look at scoreboard watching all you want, but you win your games, you don't have to worry about the scoreboard watching, do you?
Tony Dungy used to always tell us here in Tampa, take care of your business, and it will work out the way you want it. That's what they have to do. They're in the hunt. Just keep winning.
Brandon Boykin on the return. And Boykin is tackled at the 22 by Ahmad Black. So let's focus in on the wild card derby once again. And Greg Schiano's Bucs now leading. So in the now the Bears are losing to Minnesota, which is good for Minnesota. Could go to 7-6. Bucs could. These games are all up for grabs. Washington trailing by a point. Dallas is 9 points down to Cincinnati. And Seattle plays later. So nothing's going to be solved here. But you like to be 7-6 instead of 6-7 to say the least. Saints and Giants coming up next in America's Game of the Week. 1st and 10 at the 22. And Foles on 1st down lost this one, and Avant is there and is out of bounds. So E.J. Biggers staying with Jason Avant, who has been a magician today with 5 catches and 99 yards.
He has, and that ball's caught. It's just out of bounds. Jason Avant really having an outstanding day. Clearly out of bounds, but great concentration. He's going up and competing for these balls today, playing with the heart that Brent Selleck talked about in the pregame.
Made that great one-handed catch when Foles was under siege, and then a 39-yard play which set up a touchdown. 2nd down and 10. Bryce Brown, really hasn't been able to do much. Mason Foster right there. 2 yards for Brown. He has 6 yards in the game. Well, an elbow pad for Nick Foles. What do we know about it, Jennifer Hale?
Hey, Dick. Nick Foles has a contusion on that elbow. Nothing to worry about, nothing serious, but it is painful, so the Eagles went ahead and gave him an elbow pad to cushion it.
Good observation, Jen. Seeing the little things. 3rd down and 8. From the 24. Dion Lewis for protection. And Foles and Biggers knocks the ball away from Jeremy Maclin. And that'll bring up 4th down.
The Buccaneers of late have been in position but not making plays the last couple of games. Today they're finishing. We've seen it with Gerald McCoy at the D-line. We've seen the defensive backs, Gator and Biggers, finishing plays. And when you do that, good things happen.
McBriar will be kicking, and Parrish back deep for Tampa Bay. Booming kick, fair catch by Parrish, right around the 25. Well, Josh Freeman, who has thrown 2 touchdown passes here in the 2nd half to his favorite receivers, Williams and Jackson, will be coming on. 1st down for the Buccaneers, and what a difference between halves. Remember last week, the Broncos and Manning, 21-0 2nd half. This time Tampa Bay's had a good 2nd half.
Absolutely. Josh Freeman starting to get that rhythm we were talking about with Nick Foles in the 1st half.
1st down for the Bucs on their 25. Doug Martin on the pitch. And here's Martin. And Doug Martin breaks Cadillac Williams' record for the most rushing yards by a Bucs rookie. He needed 73 going in. Here's Cadillac Williams, 2005, and he set the team rookie record in so many ways. Had an injury-plagued career, didn't he?
He sure did, but what a fantastic. You remember when he burst on the scene, and John Gruden ran him about 40 times a game, but he was running hard, as is this young man, Doug Martin, an outstanding young football player for the Buccaneers.
2nd down and 3. at the 32-yard line. And there's the pitch on the option to Martin. He gets the first down and goes out of bounds. So Martin, tackled by Anderson, he goes out of bounds. You know, great reunion today with John Gruden and everything. But I want to know what happened when, you know, as we see that last play, when John Gruden took over as head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What was it like in that first practice, John? Just asking.
I'd never seen or heard anything like it. The first practice, excuse me, he meets me on the field and says, the first play, I'm throwing a slant right by your right ear. And I said, I didn't know you played quarterback. And he said, well, I do on this team. And right then, we knew we were going to have some fun.
Some fun offensively to go with that defense. And a good hit made by Rogers Cromartie on Luke Stocker. And the pass is incomplete. But that was a welcome from John Gruden, the offensive guy, against your great defensive stalwarts.
A little, you talk about culture shock, going from Tony Dungy, one of the most mild-mannered, never said a swear word in his life, and we get John Gruden in there telling me I'm buzzing, slant right by your left ear. But that competition made us better, made us great, and we did special things that year, to be sure.
Obviously, second down and 10 at the 43. And here is Martin up the middle, nothing, maybe a yard, met by D'Amico Ryans and company. Beautiful day here in Tampa. Capacity crowd, and knowing that this was going to be a great celebration honoring the 2002 Super Bowl champions. And of course, the team you had to beat to get to the Super Bowl were these Philadelphia Eagles.
And they were a great team. Donovan McNabb, Brian Dawkins, Troy Vincent. So many wonderful players on that team. Guys I respect to this day.
Third down and 9. Freeman takes off, gets the first down to the 41-yard line of Philadelphia. He picks up 13 on that scamper. And the Bucs remain in business.
See, Josh Freeman, this is a skill that he has. He doesn't use it all the time, but when he does, he moves extremely well. Doesn't look like he's moving too fast, but you see him outrunning Trent Cole. That comes in handy. That moves the chains for Tampa Bay.
2 carries, 13 yards for Freeman. First down at the 43 where they mark it. And here's Martin. Martin with a burst off right tackle, getting to the 40. Picking up 3 yards, and with the lead, even though it's early in the fourth quarter, using the time with the running play, which is the basis of the club.
And I heard the inflection in that Dick Stockton voice. You saw what I saw. It looked like he was about to go right there. And we've seen that a lot from this kid. We did the game in Oakland where he darn near went after Adrian Peterson's NFL rushing record. If he hadn't run backwards on the last series, I think he had it.
What a game to have in your hometown. 251 yards and only beginning to tell the story. 2nd and 7. Go to Martin again, and he is upended there by Colt Anderson, who again penetrates into the backfield and stopped for no gain.
Watch Colt Anderson coming from that safety position. Going to come down, going to meet him in the backfield. Colt Anderson, I love it when guys who play special teams and play hard get their opportunity and they shine, and Colt Anderson's doing it today.
3rd and 7 for the Bucs. Short drop, slant, first down, more. Vincent Jackson inside the 15. When Jackson gets ahead of steam, watch out. 28 yards, finally stopped by Asamoah.
Here's the one-on-one. Nnamdi Asamoah, that's what he does, bump and run, but you got to get him at the line of scrimmage. You see him slip. Vincent Jackson making him play. Good hustle by Asamoah at the end of the play. If you're going to get beat, get up and hustle, go make the tackle, and Asamoah does just that.
And so the Buccaneers threatening again. They have 2 touchdowns in the red zone today, and they have a first down and 10 from the 12.
This is where they like to move Jackson to the slot.
They go to Martin. Martin inside the 10 and brought down. Almost it looked like from the neck, and a 5-yard gain.
Martin thinks he never went down. He thinks he was laying on top of people. And at the end, just tried to get up. You see Cedric Thornton bring him down.
And it never hurts to get up and keep running, right? What's the worst? There you see the Eagles with only 60 yards out. Gain 205 to 60 in a big second half for Tampa Bay, trying to add to their 4-point lead. Second down and 5. Here is Martin. And Martin loses the ball, perhaps. Not sure if it was jarred loose. Gets to the 4. And apparently held on to it. Now we have under 8 minutes to go.
I don't think it was the ball. I think it was Doug Martin. He just keeps churning those legs. He is so good at contact. Puts his hand down, continues to fight for yards. Fun to watch this guy run.
And the 4th 100-yard game of the season for Martin after getting into the 50s in the last 2 games. Third and goal. They're going to try to run it in, and they do. Doug Martin, touchdown. Well, the rookie has come alive again after 2 off games. Doug Martin now with 105 yards and a big touchdown for Tampa Bay.
You see a nice hole. I said earlier, you get this young man space and he will make you pay. Look at the ball security, high and tight, getting into that end zone. They've got a keeper in Doug Martin from Boise State.
Connor Barth on for the extra point. 4th 100-yard game this year for the rookie, Doug Martin. And it is now 21-10. Someone asked him, what about the Super Bowl 10 years ago? And he said, you know what? I was into basketball then. I wasn't following football. Sure is now. Well, in Tampa, the Buccaneers have come alive big time. They had some help with miscues, but they've taken the rest, and they have 21 unanswered points after trailing 10-0 at the half. First time this year they hadn't scored in the half, but they have certainly come back big time. Brandon Boykin will return from the end zone. And Boykin brings it out past the 25-yard line. The timeout. Well, Martin and the offense. I'll tell you what, Tommy Brazier in his first game back, this defensive line puzzled with what Tampa Bay is doing. For Bryce Brown, 12 rushes, 6 yards, but Martin going over 100 yards. First time this year the Eagles have allowed a 100-yard rusher. Here is Foles, and the short slant to Macklin, and Macklin doing the rest down the sidelines, pushed out of bounds by Levante David. So a good first play for the Eagles, and it nets them 24.
And this is the one thing the Eagles do have. They have skilled athletes. Excellent block by Clay Harbor out there on Gore in the corner. King Dunlap getting down the field. And you give it to an athlete like Jeremy Macklin in space, and he's going to make big yards for you.
All of a sudden to the 48 of the Bucs, trailing by 11. Foles' pass, and
6 minutes and 40 seconds just about. If you can just continue to move the chains. I thought nobody was better than that than Brett Favre. He would take his time. He would methodically work your way down the field. Don't panic in these situations.
Dion Lewis corralled from behind, and Gerald McCoy just won't let go. What a game McCoy has had. He has 2 sacks, and this time gets Lewis in the backfield for a loss of 4.
Well, he's been great. I've talked all day about this defense playing in the backfield. There's Gerald McCoy. He backdoors it, and he gets in there, and he holds on to Dion Lewis for his dear life. And Gerald McCoy made the comment earlier. He wants to go from good to great, finish plays, and he's done it supremely today.
He's come back from injury as well to help this D-line.
Goes to injured again.
Yeah. Goes to the sideline, does McCoy. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Good protection for Foles, and this one is caught by Macklin. And a first down and going out of bounds. And that's what protection will do for a quarterback. Mark Barron makes the play downfield, 22 yards picked up.
Tremendous protection. King Dunlap holding out on the edge. Great job by the offensive line. Nick Foles has the opportunity. You get a wide receiver on a safety. Mark Barron, perfectly thrown ball by Nick Foles to Macklin. Good execution by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Macklin with 4 catches today. Avant and Harbor lead with 5. First down at the 26 of Tampa Bay. And this caught by Avant, and it'll be a first down inside the 15. Lack on the coverage, so they get 12 more. And the hurry-up offense in rhythm is the rookie Nick Foles.
These are the type of throws that leads Andy Reid to say this guy's fearless. He's throwing into tight windows. He does so very poised and very calmly. Nick Foles at times really makes you feel like he could be the guy moving forward for the Eagles.
Avant 111 yards on 6 carries. He's over 100. And Foles has his yardage mark of the rookie year. Had it last week, beat it this week, and this time not taking any chances, throws it away. So that's catches by Avant. That's 6 catches for 111 yards. 5th time he's had a 100-yard game. That'll be 2nd and 10.
Opportunity for Avant. Deshaun Jackson on IR with the concussion. One of many Eagles struggling with that. Jason Avant making the most of it.
Eagles trying to get back in this game. And a touchdown here will do just that with 4:40 to go. Can't waste much time. And there's the pass caught. And the extra effort by Jeremy Macklin will give the Eagles another first down. Neither team has called a timeout in this second half, and we have under 4.5 minutes to go in the 4th.
It's the perfect call right there for what they saw from the defense. They saw pressure. You get the ball out quick on those quick screens. If Macklin could have kept his feet, he would have been in the end zone.
It'll be 3rd down and 7. This is an important play right here. Foles throws, caught, touchdown, Clay Harbor. If the Eagles don't make it and have to try a field goal, they're down by 8. But now they get the touchdown. And now it's 21-16 and going for 2.
Again, Foles, we talked about the theme, stepping up in the pocket. Once you step up, then you can slide, extend the play. Eyes downfield, and a strike to Clay Harbor.
And Harbor, with his 2nd touchdown catch of the year, caught the winning score against the Browns opening game. Now going for 2. And a 2-point successful conversion here would bring the Eagles to within a field goal.
Riley Cooper is their version of the bigger receiver. They're going to isolate Cooper up here. Wouldn't be surprised if they gave him a one-on-one opportunity.
And here's Foles. Chase and doesn't make it. Trying to get it to Lewis, but he had Daniel Teo-Nesheim holding on to him from behind. So the Eagles do not convert the 2-point conversion.
And the Buccaneers knew what I knew. They were going to be looking for Riley Cooper, so what do? They double him. His old teammate from Florida, Ahmad Black, on Riley Cooper.
And very little chance here. So instead of a field goal to make it the 3-point game, or instead of the 2-point conversion, now they need a touchdown. And with just under 4 minutes to go in the game, you know that Doug Martin will figure big here. Well, Fox tonight, Animation Domination has an all-new night of young love and cool cats. It's The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, and American Dad, starting at 8, 7 Central tonight on Fox. That was a big touchdown for the Eagles, John, and a big stop on the 2-point conversion by the Bucs.
It was, and a very impressive drive for the young quarterback, Nick Foles. I mean, I think it's pretty clear the Eagles, they aren't making the playoffs this year. but they're playing to try to see, all right, who's our guys moving forward that we can build around. Nick Foles is someone they like. He's demonstrated why they like him today. I think he, as Andy Reid said, is proven fairly prophetic. He gets better each time you see him play.
27 completions in 40 attempts, 323 yards. He had his rookie high of 251 last week. And this kick into the end zone, and Parrish will down it there. Not taking any chances. It'll be the 20 for the Bucs. We'll join the NFL in celebrating 50 years of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In this golden anniversary, come to Canton and join the more than 10 million fans who have made the pilgrimage to the birthplace of the National Football League. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for more details. And this summer at the enshrinement ceremony, the Hall of Fame, in celebration of its golden anniversary, plans to have the largest reunion of Hall of Famers ever assembled in one place at one time. More than 130 are expected to attend. First down for the Bucs from the 20. Try to use as much clock as they can. Here's what Doug Martin gets a good opening, and Martin, second effort, may have the first down. Good block by the center, Ted Larson, and it will be a first down for Tampa Bay.
You hit it. Watch Ted Larson. This is hard to do. He's going to pull out from the center position and kick out Colt Anderson. That's agility, and you see Doug Martin, the beneficiary of a great block by Ted Larson, the center.
And a good head fake right there at the end. 25 carries, 116 yards. Eagles have all 3 timeouts remaining. But using the clock here with Martin again, and Martin getting about 4. And we'll have a timeout called by the Eagles, their first, with 3:08 remaining.
Timeout, Philadelphia, their first, a 30-second timeout.
For the Buccaneers, Freeman coming alive in the second half with 2 touchdown passes. Doug Martin going wild after a 2-game slump, kind of, with 120, and Vincent Jackson, another huge game, going over 100 for the 4th time.
We talked about it in the first quarter, first half, when the Buccaneers were struggling as an offense. This offense is so predicated on running the football. When they do that well, they win. It opens up the passing game for guys like Jackson and Williams. They become so versatile, and they can beat you in so many ways. But it all starts with that run game. They got that going in the second half.
They trail 10-0 into the third quarter, and the Bucs made the adjustments, leading by 5, but still up for grabs on 2nd down and 7 from the 34. And here is Martin. Slips and tackle from behind. Still managed to get about 3. And a flag goes down. Penalty flag down. Right where the play was finished.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Ted Larson holding on the play.
Come on, Ted, we were just bragging on you. Playing an outstanding game today, but he gets his hands. Ted Larson right at the center position. He's going to pull again. It worked last time, so let's do it again. That time he gets a handful of Colt Anderson.
So it'll be 2nd down and 17. The Eagles looking for a stop. Still have 2 timeouts remaining, and then getting one last chance to get the touchdown to pull this one out and end an 8-game losing streak. Here is Martin. And Martin spending away. And Doug Martin getting some extra yards, brings it out to the 33. Nate Allen, the strong safety, after the 9-yard pickup by Martin. And the Eagles will call their 2nd timeout.
And this is what you love about Doug Martin. Good running backs do it. They don't go down on the first hit. Watch him spin out, get those extra yards, and those are the difference so many times in games.
And for a game break, let's check in now with Patrick O'Neill.
Thank you, Dick. Well, the Cowboys, along with the Buccaneers, at 6-6 and chasing a wild card berth. And there's Tony Romo to Des Bryant, cuts the Bengals lead to 19-17. Cowboys have the ball now, and time permitting, we'll take you to that game at the conclusion of yours. Dick and John?
All right, Patrick, thank you very much. So 2:55 to go, and now the Eagles are down to their last timeout. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Doug Martin has carried the ball 6 straight plays for the Buccaneers. Make it 7, and will be stopped for a loss of 1. And the Eagles will call their 3rd and final timeout. But it'll be a punting situation for the Buccaneers. They'll have to kick it away, and Andy Reid looking up at the scoreboard, looking at what the time means. Philly will get another chance, but we'll have no timeouts, John.
An excellent play by the rookie first-round draft choice Fletcher Cox, bringing down Doug Martin. And now we talked about how impressive that last drive is. Nick Foles is going to have his opportunity to go win a football game on the last drive of the game.
2:51 to go. Greg Schiano, team looking to go 7-6 on the year. They won 5 out of 7 before losing last week. And this is just the start of things. America's game of the week, the Saints and the Giants, a big one coming up next. Michael Kanan punting to Damaris Johnson. And it'll go out of bounds. See where they mark it with 2:44 to go. And it's going to be good field position for Philadelphia. It's going to be marked at the 37. So a 30-yard punt. So Nick Foles, the rookie, coming on, looking for his first victory as an NFL quarterback. He is 0-3, this being his 4th start. And his team will start from the 36, needing a touchdown and no timeouts remaining.
Well, here you go. You want to endear yourself to the people of Philadelphia, all the Eagle fans. Go win yourself a football game. The young man's been extremely impressive. We'll see if he can finish.
"70 days since the Eagles last won, beating the Giants. How will the Bucs defense respond? Macklin on the catch, hit immediately at the 39. Rondé Barber coming in to make the play after a pickup of 3. They'll have the stoppage at the 2-minute warning, of course. 2nd and 7. Foles can't get away. And a sack by Michael Bennett. His 8th sack of the year to lead the Buccaneers, and the 6th time they've gotten the Foles today.
And there's Michael Bennett working against Dennis Kelly. And he just dips and turns the corner on Dennis Kelly and finishes Nick Foles.
And now the 2-minute warning. And the last time the Eagles will be able to stop the clock, needing a touchdown to win on their own 32. We'll be right back. Coming up after our game, the Lowe's Game Break Show. It is 3rd down and 14. This is a 2-down situation for the Eagles with no timeouts remaining. Needing a touchdown to win. Pressure on Foles. Foles' pass, and it's caught by Macklin, and Jeremy Macklin will have a 1st down. And a penalty flag is down.
Looks like it's going to be on Tampa.
I think you're right. Flag thrown back at the 30-yard line. And the Eagles will stay alive in this game with 1:51.
Holding. Defense. That penalty's declined. Play results in a 1st down.
Nick Foles again, he told us one thing I need to improve on. I need to trust the pocket, step up in it. Again, he does it. He does it well. Keeps his eyes downfield. He's finding guys like Macklin. Getting better is Nick Foles.
23 yards on that one. He's 9 of 13 on 3rd downs and turning the other way, and a flag goes down. Marvin McNutt covered by Danny Gorer. And let's see whether Gorer gets called for a hold.
Holding. Defense number 36. 5-yard penalty and a 1st down.
And it will be a 1st down on the holding call against Danny Gorer.
There's Danny Gorer working against McNutt. And he gets it. It's a quick yank, but it's a yank. Good call by the official.
Remember, Tampa Bay lost Eric Wright. He's been suspended. And Akeem Talib was suspended now with New England, so they lost 2 corners. And now first down at the 40 of Tampa Bay. No timeouts remaining for the Eagles. 1:47 to go. Here's Foles going up on top and leading Riley Cooper a little too much. And it'll be second down. That time Gerald McCoy might have been shaken up earlier, came back and he put some pressure on here.
You look at that, the right read by Nick Foles. Nobody in the middle of the field. The Buccaneers sell out to try to get pressure, and Jeremy Macklin's the guy. Both of them wide open. Just an overthrow, and credit to Gerald McCoy for busting in and pressuring Nick Foles.
Boy, those hurries sometimes better than sacks, John. Force someone to get rid of the ball quicker. 2nd and 10. Eagles need a touchdown to win. Here's the pass, incomplete. No Eagle receiver in the neighborhood. And that'll make 3rd down and 10 coming up for Philly. Eagles out of timeouts, needing a touchdown with 1:35 on the clock.
Foles has been outstanding on 3rd down all day. 9 of 13, 161 yards.
Conference with the officials.
Quarterback is in the pocket. There's a receiver in the area. There is no foul for intentional grounding.
So just to clarify, no flag was thrown. And no intentional grounding because Foles was in the pocket. So again, the Eagles have 2 downs to try to keep their hopes alive here. 3rd and 10. And the quick out to Macklin. And Macklin driving to a first down will be short by 1.5 yards. Rondé Barber right in the middle of it, John.
And what a play by Rondé Barber. I've marveled at this guy for years. He's 5'10". They list him at 185. He's 175 soaking wet. And watch him. He's going to take on King Dunlap, who stands 6'10". He gets knocked, but he doesn't go down. And then he goes and makes the tackle. Incredible player is Rondé Barber.
He's been rejuvenated for years. Maybe playing his best ball. All right, 4th and 1. Right here at the 31. Foles will run, and Foles will get the first down to the 28-yard line. Keep the hopes alive. Under a minute to go, 42 seconds.
Nick Foles, his legs have come in handy on many occasions today. Now he's going to clock the football. 35 seconds left, partner. This is a good one.
And Nick Foles bringing the team back close. Here he is. He ran for a touchdown earlier from 10 yards out. He runs for the first down here. And looking for his first win.
4 men on the field at the snap. The 5-yard penalty.
And a 5-yard penalty will be tacked on. 12 men on the field against the Buccaneers. Remember, they had that problem last week against Denver.
That was Peyton Manning got him. Now Nick Foles gets it.
So they'll place it at the 23.
You see Teo Nessheim doesn't quite get off.
And the Bucs call a timeout.
Timeout.
And a smart timeout here. They have 3 left and might as well set up what they want to do defensively, John. Bryce Brown came back on the field. We hadn't seen him in a while because they used the extra receivers.
Previous play will be reviewed.
And they're going to review that last play. It's a booth review.
Going to review whether Teo Nessheim got off the field or not, but I think we showed it when the ball was snapped. He was not off the field.
Well, the Eagles special teams, 2 missed field goals, and of course a false start before one of them, a muff punt leading to the first Bucs touchdown, really opened the floodgates for them. And Doug Martin has exploded to the tune of 128 yards and a domination in the second half for Tampa Bay.
That's it. And you talked about it, open the floodgates. They were in control of this football game. Tampa was struggling to get anything going, and they allowed Tampa to get back in. Tampa didn't fight their way. Then Tampa got some momentum and got going.
So it'll be 1st and 5. They're reviewing to see whether the Bucs did have too many men on the field. Well, last year, Tampa Bay lost their last 10 games. This year, meaningful games in the month of December. What more can you ask?
Well, they got to be really happy about their hire with Greg Schiano coming in his first year. We saw them in their last game in Atlanta, and it was not a pretty sight. Greg Schiano's changed the culture here, and he's done it in a hurry.
Falcons lost their second game of the year, losing to Carolina. New Orleans and the Giants coming up next in America's Game of the Week. We have time. We'll get you to bonus coverage of the Bengals and the Cowboys. They're in the final minute with Cincinnati leading Dallas by 2, 19-17. Vikings defeated the Bears to go 7-6. A big win for them. And the Bears have dropped 2 in a row. That puts their NFC North race in jeopardy with Green Bay having the tiebreaker. Both those teams were tied going in. You know what? It really doesn't get decided till the next week. When you think about it. Here's what they're looking at.
It's pretty clear that they had 12 on the field. Ron Winter coming out of the booth.
Been a long review there.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. There were 12 men on the field at the snap. Tampa Bay will be restored their timeout. They have 3 timeouts remaining.
Well, you heard it from Ron Winter. 35 seconds remain in the game. And it'll be 1st and 5 for the Eagles on the Bucs 23. Bryce Brown, we said, is in the game. Riley Cooper's to the top of your picture. Here's Foles, incomplete, trying to get it to Cooper. That was thrown well short. And it'll be 2nd and 5.
Because of the size of Riley Cooper, we've seen on a couple of occasions they get down close to this red zone and they're going to double Riley Cooper. That should leave guys like Macklin and Avant singled up.
Cowboys came back and beat the Bengals 20-19. So Dallas now 7-6. Big win for them. Here it's 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Foles with time, trying to make a choice and throwing it out of the end zone. And it was Cooper who pulled up on his route. And now 3rd and 5. That was Mont Black. He had help from Danny Gora back there. And 3rd down and 5. And once again, the Eagles have 2 plays, although time is starting to be a big factor against them here.
See Riley Cooper got the press coverage, but you're going to have a safety over the top of him again. Ahmad Black over the top, helping out the corner. It's Jason Avant in the slot. Now it's Macklin that's been singled up.
3rd down and 5. Drilling it and nearly intercepting it, which would have ended it as Danny Gora. Marvin McNutt, the intended receiver, and Gora could have ended it right there. Instead, the Eagles get one more shot. 4th and 5.
Now look, it's difficult to play quarterback in this league, but Jeremy Macklin wide open right there. Instead tries to force the football into McNutt. We'll see if he convert on 4th down.
From the 23. That's how close it was for Tampa Bay to sealing it. They can do it if they stop here. And the pass is caught at the 1 by Avant. And now 8 seconds left. The clock is running. They've got to clock it. And they do with 2 on the clock. Jason Avant makes the catch a yard short of the end zone. 22-yard play, and it's all here.
And what a terrific throw by Nick Foles. You talk about fearless. You talk about poise. 4th and 5, delivers an absolute strike to Jason Avant, who's been there for him all day. Now 7 catches, 133 yards, and then the presence of mind of not just Nick Foles, the entire offense to get up there and clock this ball.
So barring a penalty, this is the play. Score, don't score, and that's it. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will use now what is their first timeout.
Tampa Bay.
The Philadelphia Eagles have not won in 70 days. They're out of timeouts. 2 seconds to go. Ball is at the 1-yard line, and it'll be second down, but forget the down. It's the play that comes up. So what does Andy Reid and Marty Mornhinweg come up with here?
You know, here you are on the 1-yard line, and you might think you're running the ball in. Remember, this is the #1 run defense in the National Football League. I know he's a rookie. I put the ball in my quarterback's hands. And I tell you what, Jason Avant has been money all day long. Macklin, I think you let him read it out. But you got to throw the football here, I believe.
Tell you, Nick Foles wins a lot of support with what he's done here, win or lose.
Absolutely.
Last time the Eagles lost 9 in a row was in 1940. Trying to avoid it on this play. Foles, pass, and it's in there. Touchdown to Jeremy Macklin, and the Eagles will win.
Remember, every scoring play goes to the booth for review. Got to see that one. Right knee down, left knee down.
Control.
Looks like a touchdown. Excellent throw by Nick Foles. Excellent poise. Great catch and concentration by Macklin.
Will be reviewed.
And a critical review coming up. And will the Eagles finally end this unmerciful losing streak of 8 games with a fantastic comeback?
There's Andy Reid and Deuce Staley. We said it in the open, partner. Their coach is a fighter. He's in battle, to be sure, but he's a fighter. It looks like they have a fighter at the quarterback position as well.
Continues to make changes every week. He's gotten younger on offense, may get younger on defense, although that defense really played a strong game, especially the secondary early. 64 yards in 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And the look on Rondé Barber's face tells it all in what would be a heartbreaking loss for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were down 10-0.
See Jason Avant, some good sportsmanship. This one's clear, Dick. This is a touchdown. That left foot does go out of bounds, but both knees are down. Controlled by Jeremy Macklin. Excellent play and play call by the Philadelphia Eagles.
And here it is again. And if it goes, you would have Macklin with 9 catches for 104 and Avant 7 catches for 133. So after leading 10-0 and then trailing 21-10, they got a big touchdown, missed a 2-point conversion, got the ball back. And that's why you could be 3-9 in this league, and if you win a game, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
You saw their huddle before. Brent Selleck imploring his teammates, play with heart, play with dignity, basically saying we don't have anything to play for other than pride for the Philadelphia Eagles franchise, and they did today, right to the end, to the very last play, and that young man was front and center, Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, number-wise, 32 for 49, 381 yards, and Andy Reid. What a tough year it has been for him, losing his son in the beginning of camp. 2 coaching changes made on the defensive side during the year. If you take a vote, most people would think that he won't be back as coach of the Eagles. He'll be coaching somewhere.
Absolutely.
And some team will be lucky to get him if he is not in Philadelphia. Here's Ron Winter.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver had two knees down, possession of the ball throughout the process of the catch. By rule, the extra point must be attempted.
The Eagles lead 22-21, and they have to try the extra point. So the Eagle conversion team and Alex Henry's on there, but the Eagles end an 8-game losing streak. It was their longest in 42 seasons, 70 days. We chronicled all the things that happen around the world in between these important victories. And for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, heartbreak. They will drop to 6-7 on the year. Final score, the Eagles 23, the Bucs 21. So for John Lynch and Jennifer Hale, Dick Stockton saying so long from Tampa. Stay tuned for America's Game of the Week after these messages.